Hello, everyone. Um, Merry Christmas. I know Merry belated Christmas. We couldn't make it on during the holidays, and Happy New Year. And now that that's over with, I've had some time to, make a video. I've been wanting to do this video actually for about a month now. Um, but with time, and everything, and how busy everybody's been, it's been kind of hard. So I'm just gonna go ahead and have it. Um, and whoever can join in, and if not, they can watch it later. um but thank you, Marcos and Paper, for joining me on the show.
Yep, yep,
um
yep, yep. Thanks for having me.
And Albert,
if you guys want to, how was you guys' Christmas? What did you guys do?
Go ahead, Marcos.
well, we didn't really do nothing. The only person that came was my godmother. That's it. Oh, and my aunt.
Did you eat,
Yeah, but
Marcos?
it
We
was
might get to see Marcos make something in his air fryer later. It depends on the time we're running on here, but he may cook for us tonight. We don't know. We'll see. He's got a new air fryer, and he's been making all these recipes. And we might make him make a YouTube channel, and we're gonna call it "How Not to Cook in an Air Fryer."
no. Raquel, I'm prepping everything right now. So I'm cooking. I'm cutting up the potato, but I'm gonna be on mute.
Okay, so he's gonna mute for a few, I guess. We'll get to see Marcos's air fryer recipe possibly here um in a little bit, but I've got a more serious topic that I'm gonna get into. Um, there's some sad stuff going on in this world today, and this is called WTF podcast. So obviously the topics are gonna be things that make me go, "What the fuck?" So um, you know, uh, I don't know. There's not a lot of positive things that make me go, "What the fuck?" So, while the channel may seem somewhat negative, it really isn't. It's bringing light to the reality of stuff in the world today. Um, a lot of you may have heard about Shanquella Robinson. Um, she's a beautiful young lady that had a great future in front of her. Um, she decided to take a trip with some friends. I sort of got a timeline that I'm using that I found online from Jalen Coaxum Medium.com. I want to thank them for the little timeline because it's kind of pretty much concise of what happened. Many of you have probably heard of Shinquella. Some of you may not have because, yes, some media has covered her case, but because there's not a lot of public records right now because of the meaning of the case and the way everything has happened, it's very legally difficult to process a case like this. So I think the timeline will help people understand if you don't know who she is. But she was the beautiful woman in the thumbnail of the video, and I just would like to, take a moment to say some prayers for her family, and I hope they find justice for Shanquilla because she needs it. She should. This is something that should never happen to anyone. So I'm going to get into sort of the timeline. So Friday, October 28th of 2022, Shanquilla Robinson and five friends leave Charlotte, North Carolina for San Jose del Cabo, Mexico. The sixth friend, Nazir Wiggins, would arrive the next day on his own. In the evening, Shanquilla calls her mother, Salamondra Robinson, while eating with her friends at the villa, fed by a private chef. Shanquilla had reportedly made posts to social media between their arrival to Mexico on the 28th and her death on the following day, according to her mother, who says Shanquilla appeared to be enjoying her trip. So, this is the first day they got there. They also had pictures that surfaced of her laying in a hammock relaxed. So clearly there was no issues on Friday. Okay. So now here comes where things get really out of control. So Saturday, October 29th, 2022, at approximately 12:16 Eastern Standard Time, okay, Nazir Wiggins, which was one of the guys who went on the trip, claims that he arrived in Mexico. So one of the guys arrived a day later, per a self posted Facebook Live where he attempted to rest his case. Again, this is one day after the larger group arrived. Upon arrival, he calls members of the group for the address of the villa. During his call, Wiggins is already informed of Shanquella's condition. Now, what they're trying to say is that she had alcohol poisoning. Well, they went into further and looked into the timestamps that were relevant, and like the information is unknown as of the writing. The precise timing of Shanquella's attack currently rests on two known details: the assumed time of day per the leaked videos. So there was some videos that came out of her being brutally beaten by Dejanay, who is, I'm not going to give her too much, name time. She's a piece of shit, in my opinion. Um, that attacked her. Now, um, and the reported time of death per the Mexican Secretariat of the Health's autopsy report. So here's where it gets a little weird. The autopsy report states that Shanquella Robinson died at 3 p.m. When they actually got her back to the States and stuff, the actual time of death was stated at 12 p.m. Eastern time. So they don't know when exactly or what happened with this reporting, but I'm sure that's going to all come out in the case. Around 3:30 p.m., Nazir Wiggins says he arrives at the villa, sees a larger group of friends in the game room, and he makes his way to Shanquella, whom he finds unresponsive in the bathroom. Now, if you guys see the video, I'll post it in the Telegram chat later. If you guys watch the video, which it's so brutal, she was beaten naked, and her mother said that she slept naked. So this leads people to believe and assume that she was yanked out of bed in the morning and beaten by so-called friends and videotaped, because a few people videotaped the event. They don't know. They didn't stated who actually leaked the video, but the video was leaked. Um, this is a side note. The 25-year-old's mother, Salamandra, says that she received two phone calls from the group of friends in the evening. First, saying that she wasn't feeling well due to alcohol poisoning, and that a doctor was being called. And again, to say medics had arrived. At this time, it is unknown when exactly these phone calls were made. I'm sure that's all going to come out in the wash as well, and they're going to find out a lot more stuff as the case goes along. It says at 6:15 p.m., a public security member contacts the state attorney general's office of Mexico's Baja California Sur about Shanquella's death. Agents are reported to have gone to the scene to investigate. So, okay, in the following days, all six living parties returned to the United States from Mexico, leaving the body of Shanquella Robinson behind. So within 48 hours of them arriving in Mexico, they leave their supposed good friend body in Mexico and jet back to the States, and Mexican authorities allow them to leave. That's my first problem. Um, so during the week of November 6th to November 12th, Shanquella's family had to pay $2,000 to get her body back to the United States. This is when the official autopsy from the Mexican Secretariat was received, and it reveals that Shanquella suffered severe spinal cord injury and atlas luxation, which basically means she was decapitated internally and died within 15 minutes of being beaten by this girl, and while her supposed friends watched. Um, and excessive movements in the uppermost vertebrae of the neck, which I believe and I'm not any sort of medical professional, so it's my opinion, or I'm not a detective, but I believe that that was caused by the movement because they dressed her and they made phone calls and they, they saw her in the bathtub, which they were trying to, play around. So Tuesday, November 15th, leaked video of Shanquella Robinson's October assault goes viral on social media, followed by local American media outlets and celebrities raising alarm. Thursday, November 17th, the state AG presiding over Robinson's case say they are investigating the matter as a femicide. So that means that Mexican authorities are looking into this charge as femicide, which means she was killed for being a woman. That's what that means in layman's terms, I guess. Friday, November 18th, major media outlets in the United States, such as ABC's Good Morning America, the New York Post, and CBS News, picked up the story. And that so far is where we end with updates. Now, my one thought about there not being any further updates is because there's a different process. Normally, when we're doing extraditions, it's extraditions of Mexicans to American Mexicans to Mexico from America. So the extradition process is usually a Mexican is being sent back to Mexico. Very rarely does a crime which was committed in Mexico and they make it back to the States get extradited out there. So when people say, well, why isn't this already being heard? Why isn't this already being prosecuted? I think it's a bit of a difficult situation because they're trying to get deportation extradition from the United States of a United States citizen. The problem with Mexico letting them back on the United States soil is now those people, those six, the Cabo Six is what I call them now, and a lot of people have been calling them that, um, have now made it back to U.S. soil. So unfortunately, now they have some U.S. rights. My hope is that all these people get extradited back to Mexico, and they have to serve their case and have their case heard in Mexican prison. I tried to find out like the legal process of it, and I don't want to speak too much on that because I'm not an attorney and I don't really want to put things out there that may not be completely factual. But from what I understood in reading, that they can be tried in the United States if Mexico does not have a strong enough case against them because it was a U.S. citizen and U.S. citizens, all of them were U.S. citizens that killed her, that this case could be tried in the U.S. I forget the exact term of it, but it's a special condition inside of an extradition process. And I'm not sure how this is going to go, but I'm following her case heavily. So we're definitely going to be doing a part two about Shanquella because she needs justice. I think the reason why there's not more mainstream media is because there's not enough public record out there yet. They can't release this information because Mexico has to build a case. There is a warrant for the arrest of Dejanay, which is the girl that beat her to death brutally. And she has not turned herself into Mexican authorities. So currently, their whereabouts is unknown, and the FBI is investigating, which is the latest news I have. Um, this for me was like the main part of my show to bring light to this situation. For one, because it was planned by one person. I don't know if it was premeditated, but it seems a little odd. I feel like these people maybe thought they were gonna make a joke about it, make some video, and like think they were funny, and then they didn't expect it to get to the point where it was at and kill her. And then now they're really probably sitting at home regretting ever doing that. But that's the point. You never know what's going to happen. And I call those type of people frenemies. Always know who's around you. because some of the people that think and you think they're your friends, or you think they want you to do good, they're there to watch you do bad. They're there to gloat. They're not one of them people stopped this in that room. To me, they're all guilty of murder. That's just my opinion, and they should all be tried justifiably. Oh, here comes Sister Sharon to the show. Welcome, Sister Sharon.
Hello.
I
Welcome,
just
Hey,
everybody.
Sharon.
Hey,
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 I,
hey.
sis.
I'm
Hey,
not
Hey,
Sharon.
brother. Hey, Marcos. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you were listening to the intro, but I just gave the timeline of what happened with Shanquella.
Oh, no, I just got here.
Yeah, I just gave her timeline of the dates and what happened and a description of, and I'm speaking upon frenemies and how we have to watch out where we go, what we do, and stop trying to help so many friends. I'd say, or have so many friends. Make sure they're our friends and not our enemies.
I'm watching out, Mike.
Me too, Mikey.
Uh, Good night. Hello, everyone in the chat.
I
Um,
got mine on speed dial.
Yeah, I
Go ahead.
go. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Sharon.
Not, oh, you were starting. Okay. I was just going to say definitely, first of all, we're going around with the hashtag say your name, um, keep Shanquella Robinson's name alive, and justice for Shanquella. Um, she had went to the in October. She had went to as you were saying, to St. Lucas. Anyway, she had went to Mexico with some friends of hers, trusting her best friend. She had connections, and I know you told about how I'm not sure what all you had said, Storm, before I came,
Only the
but
timeline, only the timeline, the release of the video, the dates of the things that happened. But you can, I didn't get in. You can definitely give them, because I know we've both been following this heavily. You can definitely give them your timeline and what you've been following as well, because I know we've both been doing equal amounts of looking into this.
yes, I've been she well, how she ended up going was she went with some friends with hers, um, Winter, um, I forgot her name, began with an A. Let me see, because I don't have it right in front of me. Elise Hyatt, um, the main person, Dejanay, Nazir Wiggins, um, I gotta put their names up. I forgot all their names by heart. But anyway, she went. Her best friend convinced her to go, and the only person she knew was her best friend. The rest of them were her friends from college. And because she, was the most financially stable, she had her own business. She had a clothing, as well as doing, had her own hair business, doing children's hair. So she was very successful. They all went to the same college, and she knew them from college, but she was only best friends with 1 second, I have to pull it up. I forgot his
Kazir, I
name.
think his name
No,
is
Nazir was not her best friend. She didn't know
Nazir.
him that well. Her best friend was
Khalil, right? Khalil.
Khalil. Yes, Khalil was her
Khalil
best
was your
friend,
best friend.
and he's the reason why she came. Um, she paid for the Airbnb. She So she paid for the funding for them to even be there. And it was for Nazir's birthday and Dejanay's birthday. That's what the weekend was supposed to be for.
And
That's what they
Nazir
were
and
there for.
Dejanay were best friends, right, Sharon?
Yes, they were good friends, but her
Okay.
very best friend was the other guy, which I can't think of his name at the moment. Um, because I don't. I'm see. I need to pull it up. 1 second. I hope I can find it.
And he was the one doing the videotape
Okay.
saying
Okay.
he was the one doing the videotape, but that was the best friend of Dejanay, which is the one. in the video brutally killing Shanquella. Thank God for that video leaking. Did we just go silent?
I'm here.
Oh, all right. I'm
I'm
just.
here too.
Oh, that was very weird. Okay, and here's another thing. Now that Sister Sharon brings that up, they I've listened to some people, and it's almost like this was premeditated because the first night that they were there, um, they they have pictures of them having fun, her laying on a hammock, relaxed, nobody fighting, nothing like that. Um, and all of a sudden, the next day, they're in her room. Now, I guess there was a little from what I heard, and it's all speculation because nothing's been properly released. So again, this is all speculation and what I've seen online and what I've read. But it stated that she was not a big drinker. Um, she didn't really, do that kind of stuff. So it didn't make sense about the alcohol poisoning and the lines that were going around. And that the girl, Dejanay, was upset because she got the suite. Shanquella got the suite because she paid for it, but it was their birthday, so they should have got the main suite. So I know there was something supposedly going on, and I think it was because somebody posted something on social media. But you know how that is. Until we know and until we get more public information, we can't really make a assumption on that part of it. So I don't know what happened to Sister Sharon, but wait, maybe she's trying to get back in. I thought
Yeah,
screen.
she's not at the door. There she is.
There she is.
Yeah, it was weird. She was typing in the back back room, but like her icon wasn't there. Like she was at the door or nothing.
I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody real quick. Hello, Carl D. Hello, Mr. Meet and Greet. Hello, Mike G. Thank you all for stopping by. I appreciate you
Well,
guys.
I
you're
did,
muted, by the way, Sharon.
I did, Carlito, but I'm still hungry though.
Oh, she's gone again. She must be having computer issues.
Technical issues. Technical issues. Be back in a moment.
Hurry up, get Carl. He can fix it.
I'm dead. If Carl can't fix it, we're screwed. That's just it. And Carl, this is on live. I need you to get down here and do the screen house before them lady steals my cat again. Having problems down here. I need my screen house. My pussy keeps escaping.
Oh shit!
Um, I'm dead, Marco.
Somehow it ends up with the neighbors.
Right? My neighbors keep stealing my pussy. Never seen anyone do this. And I hate to laugh because Shanquella is such a serious situation, but we just took a little what the fuck break for a second. I call that a commercial break because you know. I really wish Sister Sharon could make it back on the show because she really, had a lot of good points because we've talked about this before. But I'm gonna say something while we're waiting to see if she can get back on here. Yesterday during the Bills game, one of their players was seriously hurt.
Damar Hamlin.
Mar Hamlin, and I'd like to just say he's still in critical condition. So prayers for Damar Hamlin and the Bills team and anyone else that was watching the game and at the
Oh,
game. Because I know that was an emotional and scary situation for anyone. He's only 24 years old, so we definitely need to keep our prayers for him. Um,
yeah,
I
I read something about that. They collapsed during the game and they had to postpone it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they canceled it for now, and there's no the NFL has not had a reschedule as of yet, and it's not rescheduled for the next week, so we don't know what's going on yet.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait for the NFL to speak on that.
And the
Yeah,
latest update on his health that I know of was that it was a cardiac arrest. It I guess there's a chance as during the cycle of your heartbeat that is within a millisecond or smaller. It's called the depolarization, and I guess if you get hit with a traumatic or blunt force at the chest at the right spot at that right millisecond in time, it'll send you into cardiac arrest, and that's what happened. So
Yeah, they say he's still in critical condition.
great.
We're just praying that he makes it through and that everything is okay with him and his family. Um,
Welcome back, sis.
Welcome back, sis. You
Hey, sorry, I was trying to change devices, but it wouldn't let me change, so I could see this stuff. They had took notes and things on as far as Shanquella, so I just have to do everything by mainly memory.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
gonna let you take it over now because I want you to because we both have pretty much the same story, but I think that we both looked at a lot of different things too. So I'd love to hear it from you as well.
okay, a lot of stuff I know. Originally, Gerald from NCB, he had put a lot of stuff out from North Carolina. NCB, as well as well, the stuff Gerardo has put out has been kind of suspect. Like he put out things, but it's been very suspect. But
Yeah, like that picture.
I
Bullshit.
like the picture,
That ain't
like
him.
also like the police report,
Yeah,
and also in the beginning when he said that Dejanay was arrested, come to find out she wasn't arrested.
yeah,
There is a warrant for her to be extradited, but and we have caught her job. Yes, we have. No shade. No, yes, because she works at I forgot the exact gas place that she works at a gas place there in North Carolina, and they have all it seemed like completely protected her. Like I mean, there is a petition that Danny Robertson has out, a change.org. And the change.org, when you sign the change.org, a copy of it goes to the Mexican authorities. It also as well as goes to the different jobs and agencies and stuff. Down to the governor there in Carolina, to everyone. So they get a notification that yes, we do want these six extradited back to Mexico because the autopsy and the autopsy as well as the police report does not match. One thing we did do successfully a couple of days ago, we did get the doctor removed from her job. Shout out to everybody. We emailed, we called, everything. So she is no longer working at the America's Hospital there in St. Cabo. Um, because we do feel like she did have a hand in helping to cover up this crime. Shanquella, they said that she had alcohol poisoning, which come to find out through the autopsy, she did not have alcohol poisoning. Um, when they set her up, we do know that, and shout out to, all the creators that have been keeping this going, this investigation going. That's been putting out the word to the main news media, spoke out about it, as well as Nancy Grace has spoke out about it. But she basically was set up. If you look at the videos, I mean, I don't know if you guys or if Storm even shared any videos or anything,
I'm going
but
to
she
put everything in the Telegram chat after.
okay, yes, in Telegram. Basically, before she was unalived, as we call it, unalived or deleted, she was at they were at a party and she was filming, and They had a drink party, a little thing where they was went out to eat and stuff, and supposedly been a dare. But when she was there, if you see on one of the videos, she was trying to put on bathing suits, and she was like, "It don't take y'all that long to get naked," and they basically was all ignoring her. And you could see her best friend walking down the hallway to the room where everybody else was at, and they gave her like a crazy look. Like I don't know if they was all right there plotting. And then that night when they had the drinking party or whatever, um, when they went out to eat, she was the first one to fall asleep. So her very best friend, he says something creepy on and films her on her own with her own phone and posted it on her IG. We got our first, dead body, you know, as if it was a joke, you know. And that was the night before she was alive. She talked to her mom earlier that evening before they had dinner, and she told her mom that they was that she was enjoying herself, they was having a good time, and she told her mom they had to leave because the chef was coming to make them some I believe it was tacos or something like that. But anyway, they was getting ready to eat. So that was her last phone call with her mother. And like I said, later that night, she was the first one to fall asleep, and that's when her best friend had filmed her in a hammock, and she wasn't, she hadn't passed then. She was just sleeping. They woke her up the next morning out of her sleep, and her mom said she always slept naked. Woke her up naked, and not only did they beat her, they beat her, they had the nerve to film it. And I don't know, I don't have my notes in front of me, but one of the guys are going to have the nerve to say, "Aren't you going to fight back? Aren't you going to fight back?" And she clearly says no. And you can see her putting her hands up, like trying to defend herself, trying to cover her body. It's already embarrassing to be waking up and naked early in the morning out your sleep. But not only in front of women, but in front of women and men. Men, how humiliating. She didn't fight her back. You can see in the video, she clearly did not try to fight her back. And they say they believe that's when she was basically, because you could see the way her hair was lumped down and everything. That's when she had allegedly had got you know, being deleted during that time. With Dejanay being the main aggressor. But everybody else was there filming. And during that time, when they also got there, the day that they got there, at least Hyatt, that's when she found out about her sister being murdered. Or being deleted. I was trying not to say that word, but being deleted that same day. And she supposedly got deleted from her boyfriend. Her boyfriend, she was found in a hotel room, like right as they got there. So Elise was kind of distanced from them originally and everything, and she was there.
Yeah, and
But
when he
go
got
ahead.
there, she was in the bathtub clothed, which means they clothed her while after they beat the shit out of her.
Exactly. And
They put
also,
clothes on
go
her
ahead.
and put her in the bathtub
Something else
after
that
they
is important
paralyzed
too
her.
is mhm, she sent at least I forgot what kind of message she sent, but that was the last post that Shanquella sent was something about she said something to Elise. I forgot what it was, but it was on her IG post. Something kind of negative, but it was had to do with I don't know if it was had to do with that game they were playing or what. But basically, Dejanay, Winter, and Elise were all best friends. Now they was always friends. There's so many trips of them together and everything. They were the ones that was really friends. Like I say, Shanquella wasn't friends with any of them.
Well, and they were saying it's kind of odd because none of them you like posted anything about going on a trip like you normally do, like
Mm-hmm.
so they're kind of thinking like and like I said, I don't know because the facts aren't out yet, but it could be potentially that it was premeditated. And you know what, that to me scares me. So that gives me a message that we need to watch out who we let in our lives. We need to pay attention to who's really looking for the good for us, or who's really jealous of us, or who, because there's that saying, keep your friends closer, your friends close, your enemies closer. And that's a true thing. Some of the closest people to you could be your worst enemy. And that's the scary part. But when you see stuff like this, that's the reality.
Exactly. And they're saying also if it was what they think it is, that she had that they planned it over here in the US before the US has a right to go after them for just for premeditation as well. And the way the one detective that interviewed with Danny, I mean the forensic guy, he said that if over there in Mexico, each thing is a separate charge. The filming is a separate charge. The fighting her
Right.
with being filmed is a second charge. Them
Femicide.
leaving her, the femicide, yes, that's a separate charge.
And them
Them
leaving Mexico after committing a
That's a
crime.
separate charge.
Right.
And then, and then the cover up is a second charge. How they all lied and pretend like it was alcohol. And then the way they set her up and had her over the toilet, like for the maids to find her, like it was alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, and then to the how they called the mother too after she was
Yes, and
already
kept going
dead,
over the
used
mother's house.
and lied to the mother's face, and then went to her house. And then when the autopsy finally came back, the official report, that's when they all just scrambled. And except one girl, she was still going to work. Um,
At least she's still the news found her working at the nursing home or whatever the place she worked at. She basically ignored them, but at least they feel like the person who may have released the tape allegedly may have been, but we don't know this for sure. People are feeling like it may have been Elise because her sister is a retired police officer, and that had just happened to her sister. Her sister had gotten out alive the day they got there by her boyfriend. So they feel like the person who may have a little bit of
Guilt.
yeah, a little bit of it may be Elise because them two things happened.
So
Because
my
they
thing
filmed
is,
her sister's funeral. As
as a
soon as she got back,
mother,
she went immediately to her sister's funeral.
I'm a mother. As a mother, if I watched that video, I would have already brought my daughter right back to Mexico. I don't give a shit. She would already be back there. I'd bring her ass right back.
Exactly, and that's what they were trying to say. Now, Nazir Wiggins' mom came on Gerardo. I mean, not Gerardo. Came on not she didn't come on his show. I take that back. Not Gerard. I forgot whose channel she came on, but she went on there defending Nazir. Now, I do feel like this part of it, only part of what I feel. Hold on one second. Hello.
Hello.
Okay, sorry. This is the only part that I kind of agree with her, and a lot of people do feel like Nazir was set up because he was the last one to get there. And by the timeline of the plane and everything, when he arrived there, just the plane alone says because even Martin Lewis broke it down because he used to live over there in Mexico. He lived over there for a few years. He said just by the sun alone, you could tell the different times and everything. And a doctor said this as well. One of the forensic specialists said that she most likely died in the morning time, so
Yeah.
before he even got there. But
So
he's
here's
guilty of the cover up afterwards.
yes, I was gonna say yes. I agree with you on that part. And then he fucked up when because he must have felt her. He felt her.
He
At
did.
that
He said he rubbed her hair
yeah.
and he
So at
massaged her
that
by
point,
playing Summer
she
Walker
died.
music for her.
We already know she died early in the morning.
Yes,
So if you get there in the afternoon, like you said, you did 2:44 p.m. or whatever, then you damn well knew that she was dead.
exactly.
So that's when I don't know, maybe you panicked. I don't know, but that's where I hold him responsible as
I mean,
well.
I know we couldn't all say what we were do, and I know a lot of people who tried to argue the fact, well, I would have just stayed over there with her. Well, I can't blame them all for being scared and running back to the U.S. But even with coming back to the U.S., because you never know how Mexico is going to do. This is where he messed up at. He could have at least, once he got over here, went and told the authorities and anybody and everybody who would listen.
Mexico should have never let them out of their country.
Mexico shouldn't have let them go, but since Mexico did let them go, since
Dumbest shit
Mexico
I've
let them
ever
went by,
seen.
and I would be scared to stay over there myself. I'm not gonna lie. I probably would have gone on a plane and came back too. But this would have did once I got to the US. I felt like I would have went to the authorities immediately.
If I
Yeah, I'd
wasn't
rather get arrested over here in the US where I'm
if
from
if I
than
wasn't
get arrested over
guilty,
there in Mexico.
if I wasn't guilty, I'd stay over there and I would sit there and I would stay with my friend's body to get her home. If
That's
I
what
was not
everybody
guilty,
said. Even the father said
I
that when
would
he was
stay there.
crying.
I don't care. I would not leave a friend behind. If something happened to a friend, I would not leave a friend behind. None of those people were her friend. The Cabo
They
Six
weren't.
were
They
not
weren't.
friends. And that's
Not one of them.
the scary part. Not one of them were her friends because I don't give a shit how scared I am. If that's my friend and something just happened to her, I'm staying with her and I'm getting her home. And that's who I am. So those guys are all pieces of shit, in my opinion.
Hmm.
And
And
you
the
know
fact
what?
that those two
I'm gonna
guys
tell you
sat there.
something.
Sorry.
This pretty soon, if the cop, if these pieces of crap don't get extradited or something doesn't happen soon, you're gonna start seeing some street justice, in my opinion, because
Oh, it's already street justice
well,
wanted out there for them. Eh,
wanted, but they haven't acted yet.
no, and her best friend, I keep forgetting his name. Anyway, his mom is harboring her. They fled the
But
state
that's
together.
the Khalil, right?
Khalil and his mom has fled the state together. So she should get accessory or something. Because, why are you coddling your child? I mean, I love my children, Lord.
Well,
No,
they're
I love them.
probably
I
in
do
fear.
anything for them, but what's
Probably
right
in
is right,
fear of
what's
their
wrong is
life.
wrong.
They're probably in fear of their life, and I'm sure the FBI knows their every move
As
anyway.
they should be.
And I agree with you. I don't think those people are safe in Charlotte.
They're not safe in the U.S.
They're not
This
safe
is
anywhere.
worldwide. Everybody,
I was gonna
everybody
say
is.
they're not safe anywhere. They're
No, they're
wanted
not.
in Mexico. So dumb. So, anyways, this is also a lesson to these people out there. I hope this teaches some of you people that think it's cool to do these pranks on people or videotape it and embarrass people and shame people and do this new social media bullying. No, this is what could happen. Okay, this is what happens. This is the worst case scenario of what you do and you mess up everybody's lives. Seven people, seven young people, and then all their family too, because none of their family will ever live the same as well. So,
No, they
guess
won't.
what? This is the consequence of dumb shit, because this is dumb shit in my opinion. You should not be acting like this. We're supposed to be civilized. That's not civilized. That's brutal. That's bullying. That's shaming. That's jealousy. That's so much shit that I can't even fathom because my mind don't think like that. But for those of you that see Shanquella's story, I'm going to tell you guys right now, take a fucking lesson if you think street fighting and doing dumb shit and pulling little Facebook fights and recording it and pranks and thinking you're going to get away with shit all the time. Nah. One punch can kill someone. One wrong fall could kill someone. One accidental shot with a BB gun in an eye could kill someone. I see such the dumbest shit.
Hmm.
And you know what? It's sad because people think this shit, like they probably thought they were gonna make a funny video and they were gonna embarrass her,
That's
and
exactly
that
what they.
was gonna be the end of it. But they did not realize that they were gonna murder her. I do not murder her. Sorry. I
Yeah,
take it back.
unalive her or delete her.
Fuck. Delete her. Excuse my language. I'll have to mark
Okay.
this 18 plus because I swore too much, right?
No, if it's a YouTube period, that's why we try to say delete. But
I'll try to
yes,
watch it.
also the other thing is they called their sister been heard about it first. They were calling back. People were calling and telling her sister that they had jumped her. over there in Mexico, and they kept lying. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Why would we hurt her? It was that, and they really did believe until the autopsy. They believed
Alcohol
that she had
poisoning.
alcohol poisoning.
You know what was
Once the
funny though?
autopsy, the video had been out, it
In the
had been surfacing around.
in the
But once the autopsy
interviews,
came out,
in the
that's when the person sent her the video,
in
and
the
that's really solidified it.
yeah, but in the interviews of her family, they even said she wasn't a big drinker like that. And if you
No.
notice, she went to bed first. She was in
Yes, she
hammock.
passed out first.
Then she went up to bed. She felt comfortable when she went to bed because she took her clothes off.
Exactly.
So she felt comfortable enough to go to sleep, and no trouble was started. And she was ambushed in the morning. That's my thought on it. And I'm
That's
not a lawyer, but that's my theory from what I can see so far. The only thing that's making sense to me.
that's most people's theory on it the same way. Because why in the world would you, if you feel like, for example, I'm gonna use, okay, you two are both in the South, and Marcos has been over there in Mexico. When you know for sure there's a hurricane coming, because I've done it when I've lived in Alabama or when I was down in Florida. When I knew for sure a hurricane, even when I lived in Louisiana, when I knew for sure that a hurricane may come and I didn't evacuate like I should, or a bad tropical storm, I didn't sleep as comfortable. I was prepared in case
Right.
I need to escape, evacuate anything.
If she thought she
So,
was going to get hurt, there's no way she would have slept in her bed in the
nude,
nude like she normally does, like her mother said. She would have felt uncomfortable and probably had jeans, a knife, a bat, a gun. I don't know
exactly.
what. She probably wouldn't have been sleeping at
She would
all.
have had her door locked,
She would
at
have
least.
not felt safe. So they made her feel comfortable. And she clearly was coherent enough to get ready for bed like she always did, like her mother said she did. And you know what? Her father and both her mothers said she wasn't a big drinker. So, like, the alcohol poisoning didn't make sense to them to begin with.
And she talked to her family and her friends every day. That was the only day she never picked up a phone and called them at all.
Sickening.
So that's another giveaway that it happened in the morning.
And that,
Because out of
like I
all
said,
day, she didn't even call her mama, her sister,
that
her best
Gerardo guy,
friends,
too, that
anybody.
you were talking about, that Gerardo guy, or however the fuck you
Gerardo,
say, yeah,
yeah,
that idiot, he
yeah.
also can't even spell her name.
He
He
can't even
spells
spell
it
her name, and
Shaquelle. I'm like, what? Say her name right.
he and another vlogger says her name wrong all the time.
I can't stand people like that. Don't
Hmm.
do that shit, bro. Don't do that shit.
He's
Wait,
over here off of clicking the view, and the other vlogger helped him end up getting a. He got a whole YouTube channel. He went with barely being able to speak English. Nice in there talking about put your questions in the chat, and on his last video and speaking like he's over here basically.
So, and I've got another thing to touch on. While we're, because this is part of my show as well, and I know we were talking about this. Um, remember the three Americans that were found dead also in Airbnbs in Mexico City that same day?
Yes.
And some of that stuff doesn't make sense either because here's a little bit about it, and I got this information from abcnews.go.com. Thank you for the info. It said three American tourists died from carbon monoxide poisoning while staying at an Airbnb rental in Mexico City last month, officials say. The three were staying in a rental in a residential complex in the La Rosita neighborhood when they were found dead on October 30th. According to the Attorney General's Office of Mexico City, which investigated the deaths, the victims were identified by relatives as Candace Florence and Jordan Marshall, both originally from Virginia Beach, Virginia, and Cortez Hall. One was a school teacher in New Orleans. The three friends were in town for the Day of the Dead festivities when Florence called her boyfriend and said she wasn't feeling well. Florence's parents told Good Morning America, I was vomiting and dizzy and my legs were wobbly, her mother, Frida Florence, said. Marshall's sister, Jasmine Marshall, told Good Morning America that she had received a message from Florence's boyfriend on Instagram that mentioned he wasn't able to reach Florence for the rest of the day after the call, so that worried him. He contacted the Airbnb host to do a welfare check, and they were all found unresponsive. Security guards at the complex detected an intense gas smell in the apartment, and poisoning by gas inhalation was initially suspected. The Attorney General's office said in a statement this week, blood tests determined that the three Americans, two men and a woman, died of carbon monoxide poisoning. Now, here's my thing, and I know Paper like had some things that he had to say about that because I thought carbon monoxide was odorless and smellless, and I thought Airbnbs were real strict where they had to have all them fucking detectors and checked all the time and stuff like that. I thought that was general. Don't matter what country you stay in, where you stay at, Airbnb is supposed to be trusted and rigorously checked for code up to code.
But again, look at where it's at too. Uh, Mexico, would you say la bolsita?
La Rosita.
Oh, la Rosita. Yeah, certain parts of Mexico, or the majority of Mexico, tries to do all that shit half-ass. They don't care about the
Doesn't matter about
American tourists, or
yeah.
it,
any tourists.
it's Airbnb. Airbnb controls it, not the country of Mexico. Mexico Airbnb is responsible to keep those places up to code. You pay a management fee to Airbnb to handle and make sure your shit's kept up to code. And in their contract, you have certain duties to keep that Airbnb safe for people. Now, if there was gas leaking, it's not making sense. Why would somebody be in a shower? The one of them was found in a shower. Why would
It,
that all be going on?
it probably happened when one of them was in the shower.
If you're dizzy and puking, and aren't you
Right,
going to
you're
get
not
out of
gonna because
there?
last place you're gonna go
Smelling
is get in the
gas?
shower unless it's just staged, like they probably move that person like they moved Shanquella.
Uh,
If I'm smelling something,
I'm trying to
I'm going
leave.
to try to get the fuck out of the room.
Exactly. I'm
What
trying to
are
get
they,
out the place if I have to.
and what are they covering up? Why are they not being more open about this stuff and alerting people? We need to be diligent to protect ourselves when we go overseas to these particular places and make sure we're aware of our feelings. If we're not feeling right, get out. Don't take it for granted or say, oh, it's probably a hangover. If something doesn't feel right, get the fuck out. And I'm just so frustrated that this is happening and that, I can't really say too much about what Airbnb is doing about it because I don't know. So I'm not going to comment on that. But I haven't found too much info on what they're doing. So it's kind of like surreal. Like, why wouldn't you come out and say more? Why is the
I
place
feel like
rented already again? Why is all these places rented already again? Why is Shanquilla's room rented immediately
her
after?
room not only rented, they changed the whole name of the place. We found out they
Yeah,
changed the name of the hotel. They've
yeah,
rebranded already.
yeah, yeah.
They have rebranded.
Well, they rebranded only the number,
Hmm.
but it's not updated on the original listing though yet. So it still hasn't taken total effect. They updated it directly on the site or something.
I feel like the air. Now, one part of the reason I also feel like her unaliving is covered up is because first place, like them parents got some lawsuits. First of all, the place she stayed, they wanted to keep getting that tourist money. That's one reason why they let them went home and help covered it up. In my opinion, is because they knew what that would look like on tourism.
Yep, I agree there. I
but
totally
That
agree there.
and
I think
then down
that
to the
was part
doctor they
of.
paid. Because okay, according to them, now he said because there's a couple of stories now. He said when he got there, the nursing was just getting there. Now he said that according to him, she had a seizure that lasted 30 seconds or something like that and stuff. They if
Yeah,
they trying to and then if they supposed to
right.
be a trained because I've heard this from doctors and nurses that's over here. And they said, first of all, the first thing they do is look at your eyes. They could tell immediately by your eyes if you have alcohol poisoning. Like
Yep.
your eyes, like they say when they say the eyes are the windows to your soul, the eyes are the windows to your soul. That's why the first thing they always do when you go to the emergency room, the first thing they do is look into your eyes because your eyes tell a lot.
To see if they're dilated.
So exactly. So if she had alcohol poisoning, they could tell that immediately. And on top of that, most hospitals over here, like the nurse was saying, because she worked, one of the nurses was saying they work in the trauma unit.
Yep.
And another person from the ambulance was saying, first of all, they don't, if you're not responsive, they don't care what nobody else at the place is saying. Their job is to save you first. They're going to take you to the hospital anyway. They're not going to go with a bunch of other people. Well, no, we're just don't take her to the hospital. Just let her stay here. That's a red flag. Why in
I
the world
feel
didn't they
like
get her to
they
a
should have
hospital?
taken her to the hospital when they came in and saw her in the tub in the first place.
Well, no, they said they found her in the game room. I mean,
The
at first she was in
the
yeah,
friends
the bathroom, the
talked
game
the
room.
fucking staff into letting her stay.
Exactly.
I was
But the
so
friends
that
didn't. hmm
that's staff's responsibility to be a little bit more conscientious. And because of a suspicious death, they shouldn't have been able to leave Mexico. They should have been kept.
Exactly. Then after that,
So this is
mind you,
bullshit.
remember now the nurse supposedly came, doctor came and everything,
Yeah.
and she was supposed to be still not deceased yet. Then why
Somebody
in the
was
world did
saying,
Winter have to
well,
call the hospital, call the 911 again after that? Now
somebody's
after they had the
actual
hotel come
mommy
bring the
paid
doctor.
somebody off in Mexico. Somebody's mommy or daddy paid somebody off in
Well,
Mexico.
remember they tried to kind the parents out the money. Remember they told the parents they needed $1,700, $17,000. I meant because Mexico wasn't going to allow them to take her to the emergency room unless she got unless they got $17,000.
Well, Sharon, if that's Mexican currency, you only need 1,000 from here to make that
Well, the
17.
parents didn't know that. That's what they called and told her mama.
They didn't know that till the autopsy came back, Marcos, and by then the idiots had already gotten back to the United
They was
States.
already in the United States, and that video was already out. But if they didn't see the video till the
Hop on,
autopsy
Red.
came back.
Hop on, Red. You can hop on. We got more stuff to talk about. All right, you know what? I want to say this about Shanquella, and then I'm Marcos. I got a question for you.
What's up?
Do you get your food prepared in your cooker ready?
Yeah, I
Okay,
diced up
so I'm gonna
both.
say I'm gonna say one last thing about Shanquilla because we're definitely gonna do more videos on her.
Yeah,
She will never be forgotten. We're gonna keep doing them until she's and sis, if you want to post
I can't because the device I'm on. That's what I was going to ask you.
all right,
Could
well
you
if you
post it? I think I
can
sent it to
send it
you
to me
though.
in
Or
Telegram,
yeah, I've been sent you her
let me go check.
I've been sent you the petition. Also, can I speak on someone else's channel about someone else's
Of
channel?
course, of
Okay,
course.
if you want to get nearly daily coverage on it, please just go watch Sean David Way
I
as
watch
well
him
as Danny
every.
Robertson.
Yep, he's the one I watch. Sean Davey. I watch him all the time.
Yes.
Hilarious, actually.
Well, yes, he is tonight. He was hilarious. That's why
I'm
I
gonna
was
have to
late
watch
because
it
oh
because
my
I didn't
goodness,
watch
this
it
show was
tonight.
so lit tonight. But yes, he's telling you all the latest updates. And Danny, she's really going in.
Let me see.
She's contacted most of the people over there. The father gave her the red light for the petition that's out. So he's encouraging everybody to put that petition out that Danny created
I
and
see.
sign it.
I'm not seeing the petition. I'm seeing the tails shit.
It might be up a little further,
Let me see.
or I'll have to leave out. Let me leave out and send it to you
That
then.
cold-hearted bitch. Tails.
Yeah, she's trying to get a horrible click on me. I don't even want to.
You know, I'm gonna grab this
yeah, Rocket.
I'm gonna leave out and come
and
back in so I can
post
send you
it.
the petition.
All right, honey.
Okay.
I'm gonna post the
There's Sean Davies Way,
Hmm?
his YouTube channel I just posted. Real quick on the carbon monoxide and the that thing. Um, what I don't understand about that part is in a place as open as an apartment or a condo with windows that leak and doors that leak and all that, it had to have been a leak big enough to really have the smell from the gas. Also, I don't understand how someone could have been that conscious to be able to attempt to take a shower and pass out. If it was that bad to where they say they think that the when they get turned on the shower, it activated the boiler, and that's what's caused the gas leak. I'm sorry, but in an apartment, it's not going to cause carbon monoxide poisoning that quick by turning on the hot water and getting in the shower and passing out.
Yeah, that doesn't make no sense, especially because she had time to tell her mother she wasn't feeling good. And when they came in, they say they smell gas. I don't know. Something's more. There's more to the
Right.
story. There's
I
something
mean,
not right. And those
running your
Airbnbs
car,
are supposed to
running
have
your
carbon monoxide detectors, paper.
yeah. Well, and running your car with the famous tailpipe into the window thing takes 45 minutes to an hour anyway. So think of the size of that compared to the size of an apartment that's got leaks and stuff in the windows and doors, and it just doesn't make sense to happen when you turn on the hot water for your shower and then pass out while you're in the shower, unless the hot water tank was consuming the bathroom with a gas leak. But then why did everybody else die as well in the apartment?
What's up,
Just
Francisco?
it's weird.
Yeah, it's just not making sense. Hey, what's up, Red? How
How
you
y'all
doing?
doing?
What's going on,
Welcome
Red?
on the panel.
Not much. I don't know too much about the story, but just listening to y'all talking about this young lady that passed away.
I just put the petition up for you guys. Please check it out. That's what Sister Sharon sent me. No, I'm gonna jump back on so I can make sure I pay attention so I don't leave her sitting here in queue. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Red.
No, no, no. You're fine. You're fine. I'm just saying. I don't know too much about the subject. I just want to jump on for a little bit before I have to go to sleep for work tomorrow. But it's good to see everybody. And sorry to hear about this young lady dying like this. Nobody deserves to die on really any kind of circumstances except for natural causes.
We call them frenemies.
For enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Frenemies.
Like I
Watch
don't get.
out for your frenemies.
There's no
Watch out
plátano
for your
here, Michelle.
frenemies. Always have your your third eye. You know the third eye. 333, buddy. Always keep a lookout because you never know.
Yeah.
It's kind of a sad situation because you think you're going on a fun trip with your friends, you think you're going to have fun and then you don't make it home, and then they leave your body there. And
Yeah.
it makes me want to cry because if that happened to my daughter, I'll tell you right now, those people wouldn't be walking the streets and I'd be in jail because
I,
the whole family would be taken out. I'd
I don't know. I stepped away for a second while you guys were
lose
talking
my
about that there
mind.
at the beginning, but
I have to pray for their parents and say I respect them fully because I know myself. You take
did you
away
bring did you
what
happen to mention about the nurse or the doctor that came to the hotel, and that whole
she's fired and shit. She's already
right,
fired.
right? I didn't know
She
if you
wrote
had
up a
mentioned
false
that in
report.
the storyline or timeline. I missed part of the timeline when you were going over it. So
Oh yeah, I did. I did mention it.
okay,
That was about 3 hours before they actually called the parents and said,
right.
and that was probably about 5 hours after she actually died. But then they dressed her and they moved her to a tub. They were playing Weekend at Bernie's with her body.
Mm-hmm.
They should get charged with
Oh,
desecration of a corpse as well.
yeah.
I don't know if that's a crime in Mexico, but th-
that's Marcos.
Marcos has told me some stories, so I don't know if that would fly.
Well,
But
Red, what I was just telling Sharon when she said that the people that did that shit asked the parents for 17,000. I was telling her if it's Mexican, if it's converted to Mexican
No,
currency,
American dollars, Marcos. Mexico charged the family 6,000 to get her body home.
because I was saying that if it's converted to Mexican, the 17, all you really need is 1,000 US.
Yeah, we know what the peso's worth, Marcos. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the math.
Or it also depends where you go, because the peso is what, $2 less in certain parts of Mexico.
And I
I'll be
find
back in
that
1 second.
So where you been riding, Francisco?
Well, I've been working a lot. Um, I made a recent YouTube video. And that's really about it. Something that Tanya from TV Fire Sticks brushed up on. It's something I didn't even know about. And that was
Hold on.
using these. Well, you can't really see it. That
What is it? The Chromecast?
no. It's just to hardwire your Fire Stick with an Ethernet cord.
Um,
Yeah.
but don't they that don't paper don't doesn't can't you already hardwire it anyway with the OTG cable?
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean these.
yeah.
Yeah. But you need this with it.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Papel, see, that's gonna be my dinner in a couple minutes.
I mean, before Amazon was putting out these.
What is it?
The way to plug in your OTG cable. I mean your Ethernet cord to your Fire Stick. Oh, it's been freaking Sharon's here. Yay.
Hello. Sorry it took me so long. I had to end up going. I said several things, but the last thing is to change the org. Hey, Bert Lantern. Welcome to the
Hi.
show.
I got
Hi.
you.
I'm here for a little bit. I gotta go to sleep pretty soon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I gotta
Okay.
redo the air fryer.
Stop it. Oh
Okay.
no, Marcos. First of all, you're supposed to be turning on your fucking camera and telling us what you're putting in the air fryer, how to do it, because
Hold
our
on, Raquel.
this is Marcos's how not to use an air fryer hour.
See,
Welcome to Marcos's how
I
not
diced,
to use
I
an air
diced up,
fryer.
Mm.
I diced up some potato.
Here, let me. How do I expand on him?
Just click on me, Raquel.
It says remove from stream.
Remove what from stream? You talking about Marcos?
I want to make him big. How do I make
He
him big?
you click on the you click on his picture and then it should be a square box. What did I just do?
No,
I'll do it. Wait a minute. I changed the outlet. 1 second.
Nah, I'm messing with it. I'll stop. You do it.
So yeah, you just go right there.
Right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do you want me to do now?
There should be a little square at the bottom of his box, and it makes it big or little.
It just says solo layout.
Yep.
Yeah, solo layout.
See, Raquel, I diced up the potato and I put them.
Can't you turn on some fucking light for
Yeah,
fuck's
why is
sake?
it so dark? They don't allow you to have much light there?
Can't you turn the light on in the kitchen where you're cooking? What?
Right.
See, this
You
is
should have took that lamp over there to where you're at.
how not to use an air fryer.
In the
Rule
dark.
one. We need light, folks.
Actually, I can't because I moved the coffee maker to the. I moved the coffee maker by the
There's a
microwave.
light
So
right there.
I can't really.
Isn't that a light?
So, just a little background, folks. Marcos received an air fryer from his godparents. So now he's learning how to cook with an air fryer. So here we go.
See, Francisco, that's what I did
Shit.
during the show. Sliced up a couple
So
potatoes
those are potatoes.
Look like soap.
I'm not even gonna try to get more light.
with I put some pepper and
I don't
salt
know what that
on 'em.
is. It looked like something white and with a brown piece of
so
paper.
it's got potatoes with pepper and salt.
Yeah,
And soap.
no.
All right, let's see how you're gonna make these potatoes with pepper and salt, Marcos. Now,
So pop it in the air fryer.
show us the air fryer, Marcos.
See,
Did you get that for Christmas? It's
Okay.
nice.
I got it like a month, like right when we came back from Mexico.
We don't want to look
Karen.
at your nostril hairs. We want to watch you cook.
I got it right when we came back from Mexico.
Hey, how come it's not in Spanish?
Yeah, so
So Marcos has
wasn't.
been practicing with his air fryer since he got back from Mexico a few weeks
I
ago.
love my air fryer. You
I
know what another
wasn't-
good thing air fryers is for? Rewarming food.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's what my mom was saying that I should only be using it to warm up food because that's what my godparents were doing with theirs. But then she doesn't know that there's a lot more stuff that you can do with it. And then you set the timer to 15 minutes. And hold on. I gotta use my thumb.
Well, I'm gonna cut it short, guys. Y'all talk to y'all later. Nice stopping by.
Okay.
Saying hi to everybody.
Glad to see you up here. Oh, breaking news. Gerardo's on with a new lie.
Oh, I get it.
The guy who's been posting a bunch of bullshit.
He's live now.
He likes it for the clicks and the baits.
So
Yeah.
after once I is done with cooking for 15 minutes, I'm gonna take it out, flip them, and then put them in for another 15, and that'll make it soft.
Okay, so Marcos, what I'm going to do now is we're going to resume back to the show,
Okay.
and we're going to let your potatoes do their thing in the air fryer, and then we're going to have to see them in more light, though. You're going to have to put them on your bed in front of Jesus.
And Virgin Mary.
I'll get the black
Oh
pepper
yeah,
and-
he has like 7 Virgin Marys in there. I couldn't say a swear in that house.
Yeah, you could.
In there.
Amen.
I couldn't even say the word shit in his house. I'd be too embarrassed. I'd be scared. I'd be like, something's gonna fall on my head.
There's eyes on you from every angle.
Right?
Now, Mary, she's watching you.
No, I cannot do anything bad in this house.
Raquel, first of all, I cuss a lot in my house and nothing happens.
You do?
Yeah,
Why?
because I either fall on my
Maybe
face.
that's what keeps happening to your
fall
battery,
on your
Marcos.
Yeah.
How do you wait a minute? How are you falling on your face, Marcos?
So I'll be watching TV and I'll sneeze, and sometimes I'll fall on my chair and my legs go into like underneath my chair.
Okay, so wait a minute.
That's a pretty hard sneeze.
I'm not being a wise ass here. I'm really not. But don't they make seatbelts for those things?
Yeah, but I haven't worn mine since.
Maybe you should start, Marcos.
I know, but this one the
If you
seatbelt.
don't wear your seatbelt.
Yeah, but the seatbelt kind of
tight.
ripped on this one, so I don't wear it anymore.
Hello, everyone. This is cooking how not to use an air fryer.
Potatoes take a lot longer than pork
All right,
do.
so we'll be back. We'll resume when you're done. Let us know, okay?
Okay. I just need to flip them, take them out and flip them. That's it. That's about it.
All right. So the next topic we're gonna talk about is gonna be it's a Second Amendment bill that was just it's not a Second Amendment bill. I'll shut up. I'm gonna let Paper explain kind of what it is, but we're gonna stick to the Second Amendment part of it because it's got a whole bunch of bullshit, and I don't think he wants to go through 4,000 pages of stuff.
Yeah, no, not really. Not
So we kind of
tonight.
narrowed it down to a specific topic, okay? And I'm going to let him take over from here, and I'm going to put it back to, what do I do here now? Like this, okay. I'm going to put it back to this.
So, yeah, I'm sure everybody's heard about the omnibus that just passed. And if not, it was the bill that just went through for the $1.7 trillion package. There's several things in it. I was not aware of how big the actual package was, but it was what is it? 4,000. I think 4,155 pages, maybe. Um, that they did at 1 o'clock in the morning throughout the holidays. So a lot of it, I'm sure, didn't get read, or wasn't read thoroughly, and everything was kind of rushed, like a lot of things are. But as far as the topic that we're going to talk about is there's about 12 things that were key things that were added in, that has anything to do with firearms or guns or Second Amendment type rights. So the first one was they did a 14.1% budget increase for the ATF, to facilitate the pistol ban that Biden's working on. They did a $14.4 million for ATF's NTC budget to maintain its the billion record gun registry that they have that is illegal. And so pretty much what it boils down to is that with those percentages, it's going to give the ATF I think $1.7 million altogether, to in funding, for the one for increases in their pays and whatnot. The other is $14.4 million for their budget to maintain the gun registry. Then there's $700 million in funding that went to bribe states to pass red flag confiscation laws, which proposes that if the states are going to be getting programs and extra money towards these programs if they start coming up with red flag laws in their state. So that's kind of misleading. The other, number 4, was they're directing the VA medical centers to utilize confiscation orders on vulnerable veterans. Pretty much what that means, the basic of that is, if any nurse or doctor writes a note in your record that says they think that you're a danger, they think that you're mentally unstable, they think that, anything that they want to write in there, if they're, for example, having a shitty day and they want to, they write something, jot something down in their notes that they didn't like the way that you were talking about something, they can pretty much gives them the right to put that in your records, and then they can come confiscate the guns from a veteran. The Department of Education, number 5, is to push state safe storage of parents' firearms. So they're going to have the education Department of Education is going to begin a unconstitutional secure firearm storage program to promote secure household firearm storage and to offer support to federal agencies that are leading safe storage gun control efforts. Additional requirements make homeowners more likely to be assaulted, do not stop accidental deaths, and will not stop deranged individuals from committing acts of violence. Mandatory safe storage laws are nothing more than blatant intrusions by the government into the private home and decision making processes of Americans, is how that article is written about that. Which, you know, to me, I don't know what any business the Department of Education has on what guns I have in my home, um, and where they're at, or how I keep them. To me, that's none of the Department of Education's business, and that's what they're giving them the right to know. They're also doing. Here's another VA one, number 6. They're wanting to They're giving the VA funding to start maintaining gun storage maps, which is going to keep tabs and records on where veterans keep their guns in their house. Um, you'd have to have a map and tell them where it's kept at, if it's kept in a safe, how many magazines you have, how many firearms you have, how many rounds of ammunition you have, um, on and on and on with that one, which is another intrusion. Why they need that information, I think I can think of is for confiscation reasons. Number 7, annual compensation for families of deceased ATF agents. $50,000 a year will be made available for humanitarian expenses incurred by or for any ATF employee or any member of the employee's immediate family that results from or is an incident to a serious illness occurring to the employee while on official duty or business. Um, I don't know why they're needing to increase this. That hasn't been done for years. Anything I can think of with this is that, are they planning something that's going to be a little bit more dangerous for the agents, to where they need to give them 50,000 a
I
year?
was gonna say, wait a minute. Can you repeat that last one more time? And I just have one thing to say about that, because
The mapping one for the VA?
no. This just this one. I just want them to hear that. Let the one you're talking about now.
Okay.
And just repeat it, and then I'm just going to say something about it, because I want to make sure they hear. So it's basically repeating the one you just did.
Okay. So it's a new annual compensation for families of deceased ATF agents.
Okay.
And they're
So
saying that could be an indication of upcoming gun confiscation. And that's what I'm thinking too.
This problem, the problem with this is, what are they afraid that these guys are going to break the law of the Constitution and end up getting killed by people? Like, when did an ATF agent's job become so dangerous that they have to worry about compensating the wives? What are they making these guys do?
Exactly.
So that's what I have to say about that, because I don't have like a full opinion on a lot of these changes, because this is mostly directed towards veterans, which I feel is really sad. We just left a bunch of guns with the Taliban, and we just sent a ton of shit over to Ukraine. God bless Ukraine, like the people of Ukraine and everything, but they armed the civilians of Ukraine, and they're trying to restrict our gun laws. I'm really not liking this whole thing, and it's like they're tucking this stuff in bills. And so stuff like this is what bothers me. Mapping a veteran's guns in his house, really? Because where are the statistics that people who are in financial difficulties don't commit suicide with guns just as much as veterans? I mean, like, I've seen I've where are the fucking where are the charts? Where is the evidence? Where is it all?
Can I play devil's advocate for a second? For a
Sure.
little bit on a couple of things the paper said.
Sure.
Okay, and the last one, what you said, the mapping. Okay, I'm play devil's advocate, play the other side for a second. Well, I guess maybe they put the mapping there is case because they feel like a lot of veterans, like the other people don't have it, because If you're in an abused relationship and different things like that, maybe it's for the PTSD. Maybe they're afraid that they may have a flashback and flip out and harm someone. So they want to make sure they keep up with what their guns are at. And then, as far as the Department of Education, maybe the reason why the Department of Education isn't all involved because of all the mass killings that's happened at schools. So the Department of Education said, "Whoa, we got to do something about this." So that's why the Department of Education is involved.
Mike G, you would have to ask Paper that question. Mike G has a question. Is this all veterans or is this in certain veterans?
This is all veterans. If they go to
But there are specific
it's the
changes to
depart.
that. I'm going to let you carry on now, Paper,
Yeah.
because that is coming up, Mike. They do touch on that subject, so I'm going to let him continue on now. But I
Yeah.
I just wanted to say something about that. Thank you.
Hey Blamo. So in a sense, yes, Mike. They're giving the Department of VA the authority and the funding to do all of this. So if a veteran, um, is not in the VA healthcare system, um, then probably not, because they're not seeing a VA doctor or whatever. But as a veteran, you're still registered through the Department of VA Affairs. So even seeing a civilian doctor, if they make that note, then they're going to transfer that to a VA authority. No, it's not a proposal. It was in the bill that just passed. They are approved. It got approved, and they are doing the funding for the VA. All of these 13 things that I'm going to go about were in the bill, and actually 12 things, but they were all in the bill that went through, and about most of it is about funding new programs and new uh, increases in funding to existing programs. Um, so there are a couple here that I really don't completely understand myself, but we'll go on to number 8, and this is one of them. Is the gun control earmarks for orchid healing circles and more. So, orchid healing circles is a initiative or a special group, from what I could find out, um, that is for Orchid Healing Circle is for victims of gun violence. And so the way I understand this part here is, they added some earmarks to that organization, for funding um, if they need it to use it. And again, this one I'm kind of confused on still, so I'm going to read a little piece here. But it says, in June, Representative Thompson his earmark request to leadership and received $830,000 to fund an unconstitutional ghost run and gun violence prevention initiative for the city of Vallejo, to harass those who exercise their constitutionally protected right to manufacture a firearm in a state which infringes on that right. However, after GOA raised awareness about the provision, the title of the earmark was watered down, marketed as merely the Vallejo Gun Violence Prevention Initiative, and included a dozen other gun violence initiatives to the tune of $10,914,000. And it says it's anyone's guess as to exactly what ludicrous local gun control measures are funded by these earmarks. Some examples would include No Shots Fired initiative, an anti-gun assistance program for gang members will be funded 1.2 million, and another $120,000 will be used to fund Orchid Healing Circles for victims of gun violence. There's $1 million for Crime and Gun Violence Reduction Initiative, 237,000 for Bridgeport. There's several of them here that they listed.
Paper, check
Yes.
out Mike's comment. He said if it is an earmark request, it's not a done deal.
Okay. This is one of the ones that I wasn't. Thank you for that, Mike, because I wasn't sure on this one.
Well, neither
What
one of
this
us
one?
were.
Yeah, right. I wasn't quite
Wow.
sure on this one, so thank you for that. Then the next one is the Dickey violations, which this one is a little odd to me. Well, not a little; it's very odd to me. So I'm going to read this article, and these articles kind of bear with them because they are a little bit. Well, maybe
Can you just let them know the sources? Because I just want to give
yes.
shout out to the sources.
Yes. So some of these articles are a little too lean to the right, the way that they're written. But they actually are in the bus, omnibus bill. But the article itself was written by a right-leaning, author. So do bear with that. So the omnibus provides $1 million for research on gun violence prevention. However, the Office of Justice Programs is not bound by the Dickey Amendment because it only applies to the CDC and NIH, preventing the funds from being used in whole or in part to advocate or promote gun control. Given the necessity of including this restriction to prevent research funding from being used to undermine the constitutional rights, unrestricted gun-related research must be opposed. The Dickey Amendment was written to stop anti-gun bureaucrats at NIH and CDC from producing biased anti-Second Amendment research to promote and advocate for gun control. Unfortunately, the gun control bill known as Fix NICS gutted the Dickey Amendment, allowing for anti-gun research. In the last year, we've even seen the CDC serve anti-gun lobby by removing research on the prevalence of the defensive use of firearms, which proved damaging to their false anti-gun narrative. The omnibus more than doubles the funding of the CDC and NIH to $60 million to enact anti-gun research, specifically $25 million to support research on the prevention of firearm violence, $12.5 million enacted level of 2022 emphasis added, or a 100% increase. The provision under firearm injury and mortality prevention research weaponizes the agencies to use resources on researching methods on prevention of firearm usage. Because firearms are designed and intended as lethal defensive tools, all firearm usage runs the risk of injury or death. There is no way for the CDC to arrive at a conclusion that does not limit access to firearms. So, with that, the CDC what the hell and why in the hell are they being funded to do research on firearms like it just says in that last sentence? What conclusion can the CDC possibly come up with
Yeah, I
about
have no
firearms?
idea what the
That part right there is crazy.
what the CDC has any dollar in that dime.
Right,
The
and to give
CDC want to
them
control everything, right?
and to give them $38
Yep.
million to do it with. That's
Sounds
scary.
like some funny money going through the fucking system
Right.
again.
Number 10 is programs discouraging women from exercising their Second Amendment right. I know this one struck a little bit of a nerve with Storm. The omnibus provides $4 million for a domestic violence lethality reduction initiative. However, House Report 117-395 specifies a firearms lethality reduction initiative, meaning the program purposes to single out firearms as the cause of domestic violence rather than targeting domestic abusers themselves. Gun rights are women's rights too, and so a constitutionally minded government program might encourage women and domestic violence victims to exercise their constitutionally protected rights in order to defend themselves from domestic violence users or domestic violence abusers. However, this program will be used to promote anti gun and anti women rhetoric, discouraging women from using firearms for self defense. So $4 million went to discourage women from using a firearm for self-defense in domestic violence situations.
Hey, I don't go out with it. I don't want it. But if you come to my house, you're gonna get it. And you try to break in and hurt my family. It's used in my life for self defense in my home. And if I had, let's say, I had to do something dangerous, like I for some reason I had to walk somewhere and it was going to be a dangerous walk, and I had to do it by myself at night. I might conceal carry at that point, but there's no other time where I need it. I'll just hit you with a fucking bat if you try to kill me or something, or scream fire, or run, or punch you in the face, or in the balls. I don't want to kill people on the road. So this is kind of ridiculous because law-abiding citizens don't want to hurt anybody with their gun. We're not like gun-toting crazy people of the West. Like that's what they're making it look like. No, people like to hunt. People like to protect their home. And you know what I love? Like, so I wish Mike G could jump on, and he can't because, like, he's a Democrat, which a lot of Democrats, are part of this lobby to, make it stricter for guns. But he actually believes in the Second Amendment, and him and his wife would go to a range and shoot, and so I love his perspective, and that's I guess what I love about Mike is like he's a Democrat, but he's unbiased. He does not put anyone down for their opinion. He can do it in the right way, and that's why I like to have him on the panel. But I don't know what
Yeah.
he's doing. He's probably jerking off at work or something.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we've all had several conversations and on several different levels with several different opinions, and Mike being a member of those conversations. And yeah, I agree with you, Storm.
Marcos, what's going on with your potatoes?
I just flipped them, and now I put them in for another 15.
Let's see how they look. We want to see the flip. You didn't show us the flip.
Ah,
What kind of cooking show are you?
He said he didn't want to interrupt
well,
everyone
Give
talking,
me
I
Raquel,
about
guess.
15 minutes and show me how you flipped it.
Raquel,
You
well,
fired. Your first cooking show experience and you fired.
Mm-mm. Hello?
How not to use what is it called again?
well, Raquel, first of all, I gotta put it on my lap in order to flip them. That's why they didn't show anything.
Oh, so yeah, thank you for
I
not
want on the.
balls.
Can you hear me?
Yep,
Okay. On the last thing that you were talking about for the
Yes.
protection of the women, what
yep.
um, I think that is bat crazy. So women have to find alternative ways to protect themselves.
Right.
They, because you know, I have a peace of mind, and if somebody come here in the wrong way, they're gonna meet peace of mind.
Yeah,
And
I think I agree. I think to me that's almost being feminist in a sense, and government overreach. Whether I agreed with it or I disagreed with women having gun, that part of it wouldn't even matter. In my opinion, what they're doing in my mind is wrong. Period. They can't say they're making a whole thing here of $4 million to work on this to try to discourage women from getting a firearm.
what they trying to say
Why?
in domestic violence, more women shoot men or something, or more
I
women
guess
shoot
so.
than. because that's very bad crazy. Women are already weaker than
Right.
men, not as
Right.
strong as men. How else do we supposed to
Exactly.
defend ourselves if you're in a predicament like that
I would
Anything
But
much,
you
much,
know,
with
much rather
anybody?
have the females in my life that are important to me trained properly and know how to use the gun properly
yeah,
versus not knowing anything about one and not know, at all. If someone does come in with a gun and they don't, we don't own a gun, at least maybe if the guy dropped it or whoever it was dropped it or something, they would know how to use it.
I guess
You
I'm just
know,
gonna knife you while you try to shoot me, right? And hopefully,
right?
a bullet to miss me, and I don't know. Or
Yeah,
use
shit,
like,
right.
or Storm said, get a
And
bat or something. I
shit,
don't know. Keep some mace.
that would be a strong though. 'Cause a
and to
knife.
and
Oh, go ahead, baby.
and to me, Sharon, what you just said and that kind of goes back to one of the other things we talked about with the safe mapping and the safe storage. So
Mhm.
to me, as a kid, I was brought up to respect guns and respect firearms. I knew when to touch them. I knew when not to touch them. They sat around the house all the time, loaded and sitting there, readily available. Some of them, leaning up against the floor behind the door. Just they were just everywhere in the house. I knew not to touch them. If we could get back to that side of it, to me,
Listen,
if someone breaks into my house, am I going to have enough time to go to the safe and open up the safe, get my gun out? No, realistically, no.
all right. Hold up a minute, Robert. I got to get
Right,
to my safe.
you know,
Dang,
and I
can I
get it.
remember the combination? Let me concentrate, Robert.
Yeah, yeah,
Let me
Oh
exactly,
my
and
concentrate before you
god.
get me
and
because I got to get to this safe. I got to
and I
get.
do get it.
Hmm.
People wanting to put their guns and store their guns
Which I
safe
do. I
for
store
for with
mine
their
in a safe. I'm
kids.
not gonna lie. I have a small child, and even though like you said, you were trained not to touch it. Some children
Right,
don't listen, so
right,
especially if they
right.
get with
So
other kids that would influence them.
yep,
So
I get
you
it,
know,
and society has changed a whole lot since
oh,
then.
a whole
You know,
lot, a
so I do
whole
get
lot.
it. I think that there's other ways of doing it other than a safe if you need to do it that way to have safe storage.
Safe storage should be away from kids. Kids should not have
Exactly.
accessibility to guns.
Yep.
It
Period.
doesn't necessarily mean in a safe or locked
Correct.
away somewhere where you go around and struggle if you need it in an emergency. But safe storage to me is like Storm just said. Safe storage is in a safe spot away from where accidents are preventative. Not going to be prevented 100% of the time, but it's a lot more preventative than if they're not stored safe.
It's just kind of a sad thing that, with all the crime rates increasing, um, and the fact that they don't address the crime in certain areas and they're going after people that are easy targets is the issue I have, I
Yep.
guess, with this whole thing. We're a country of guns. We always have been. The civilians have always been armed, which is one of the reasons why I don't think a lot of people have stepped foot on American soil since what was that? What was Pearl Harbor? Was that the last attack on American soil?
Yes.
Yes. So Pearl Harbor, with the exception of that, now our civilians are armed. We've never had an outside attack come in and physically attack our land, and that's because our citizens are armed.
Yep.
You
I
know,
thought you meant. Do you mean 9/11? Wasn't that more recent than Pearl
no,
Harbor? Oh, totally different.
Pearl Harbor was the last attack to American soil. Well, yeah, that's different though. I'm talking
Yeah, nine
about
eleven
ground
was
troops.
just a terrorist attack on one.
Yeah, they
Oh,
took
okay.
over planes and stuff. That was a specific terrorist attack. I'm talking about like ground troops, sneaking up on American soil and actually
I
making it on
understand.
our land and killing our guys from
A
our soil.
conflict.
Right, from our soil. Because they came in and just bombed the heck out of them. I mean, while they were sleeping, they weren't even prepped for it. They snuck up in their little submarines quietly, and they took on our soil, and and I believe that was the
That
last one. And besides obviously the 9/11 and the the Boston Marathon, which those people are obviously psychotic. And that's a total separate war though altogether. That created a separate conflict. It's
correct.
all crazy. Like that. I don't believe in war, anyways. But that's a
I don't
different
either.
for a different show. Um. All right, now I'm gonna move on. Are we done with the bills? Did we do
I
them
got
all?
one more that I want
Okay,
to.
do that last one, and then I'm gonna move on to the Balenciaga.
Okay. Yep. So the last one is another kind of twisted and doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me and is a bunch of bullshit in my opinion. So, the violent anti-government ideology and domestic radicalizations research. 7.5 sorry. Yeah, $7.5 million is allotted to study the domestic radicalization phenomenon, which specifies the funding for research concerning domestic violent anti-government ideology, which they have classified. They have a list. It was posted, I think, sometime this summer. It went on to talk about, and it doesn't mention it here in this article, and I wish it did because there's several things. I know, like the Gadsden flag was one of them, the Don't Tread on Me flag, the Punisher symbol. There's several emblems and symbols that they consider to be domestic violent anti-government ideology now. And they can, if they have the rights to arrest you and put you as a terrorist, domestic terrorist, if they really wanted to push the issue. I'm sure that if you weren't doing anything off the wall or crazy, that you get out of that whole thing. But that's the what they're pushing for on that. Like I said, I'll try to find
Hence why
the
my
article that has.
suggestion is, folks, if you've got an opinion, watch out what you say on social media. You know, don't go and spew every damn thing on Mr. Z's platform, and then have
Hmm.
and then bitch when something happens, because guess what? They do watch.
Isn't that how they caught the Idaho guy? What he posted on Reddit?
The what?
The Idaho guy, the guy who's supposed to be the alleged
The one with the horns guy?
the one who killed the
Or the
four
one
people in
that the
Idaho.
leader of the leader of the
No, the Byron guy, the Brian, the guy who just killed the Idaho four.
oh, I don't
That
know
they
about
alleged,
that one.
Oh yeah.
yeah, he posted something on Reddit, and that's how they got him.
Yep.
That was the main way they got him, what he posted on Reddit.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't even. You'll have to send me info on that. I haven't even read
Yeah,
about that. I've been
they
more.
just had a news conference this afternoon around 4,
Ew,
and
I've
they
been
said
more.
during the news conference that he's about to be extradited back to from Pennsylvania back to Idaho within 10 days. He
Oh,
waived his extradition.
oh shit. See, I've been focused on Shanquella, so that touched me so much because I have a daughter, and she was such a beautiful, successful girl, and it just hurt me. But
Yes, she was. That was another
yeah,
thing. She was so beautiful. They were jealous of her, I believe
yep,
too.
definitely jealousy's a bitch. Um. So yeah. So um. Thank you, Paper, for reading through that stuff and going through
Hmm.
it, and it's sad to see what this country is trying to do, in my opinion, to veterans who have served our country, who have held weapons for our country, who have learned how to defend our country via weapons, and then you're going to take their weapons away or try to track them harder than the next person. I don't think it's right. If you think they're that mentally unstable, then and you guys are fucking up our guys that much, then maybe you should rethink your military procedures. That's my opinion. Don't fuck with the veterans, leave them alone. If anything, give them more benefits. And that's my last and final thought on it. I'm gonna move on to this thing. It's kind of I'm gonna post it in the YouTube, the article that I looked up, and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck is this? This shows the ad campaign that Balenciaga posted. Um and let's see here. I'll post it in the Telegram as well. Um so there it goes. I posted it in both chats, and says in November, Balenciaga dropped its holiday ad campaign featuring children holding teddy bears in bondage harnesses and costumes. The BDSM accessories were also on the runway at Balenciaga's show at Paris Fashion Week. The backlash against the images has been swift, with the hashtag cancel Balenciaga trending across Twitter and TikTok, and many accusing the brand and its creative director Demna of condoning pedophilia and child exploitation. So I'm there's a lot more you can see in the article, and I'm not going to touch on it too much because the subject just disgusts me in the first place. But for Balenciaga to go there with an ad is way over the top, in my opinion. um they should be ashamed of themselves, and I would never buy anything from them. They've always been a little off to me anyway, so um I just do not condone that. And there's some conspiracy theories going around. Paper knows more about those than I. But as far as the ads and Balenciaga in general, I'm done with them. And Kim Kardashian bashed him on her Twitter, and she's really debating on whether or not to break ties because she thinks this really crosses the line. So, and a lot of other stars have spoken out, and it just hurts. It just hurts to see that this is what the world is fucking promoting now with kids. Stop sexualizing our kids. Period. That is not right.
Exactly.
Stop it. Just stop.
Yeah. The- I'm not the biggest Kim Kardashian fan at all, but however, there no children should be sexualized or on any level. And I never was a Balenciaga big fan of that either. So I don't wear their products, and that just made me not really want to get any of their products.
Yeah, yeah. Cancel, and so Kanye should cancel him too.
But yes, because that's his favorite
Everybody
brand.
should.
That's his. Everybody should. That's his favorite brand. That's his favorite brand. But it's already bad enough, or how TV, movies, TV in general, commercials and everything over sexualize women. It's not bad enough that you over sexualize women. You have to go for children now.
Right? Children need to be left innocent and left out of things and protected. It takes a
Yep.
village to raise a child, and that mentality is not happening in this year. This time.
That shit's gonna that BDS that BDSM shit's gonna lower down the value of their shit now.
Hell yeah. They're gonna lose lots. Can't wait to see. Can't wait to see. Marcos, how's those fucking potatoes coming already in your air fryer? How not
I'm,
to cook in the air fryer
I'm
part
eating them.
3. You didn't show us?
Uh-uh.
Show us.
Well, one of them was still.
Show us. Show us the fucking potatoes, Marcos.
I still need to put some. I still need to put some queso on them, but I'm eating them right now.
That means you burnt them.
No,
That wasn't
no.
much of a cooking show.
Yeah, where's your finished? We didn't get to see you flip them or anything. Where's your finished product?
Well, Sharon, like I told Raquel, if I were to show you me flipping them, I'd have to put them on. I have to put them on my lap in order to flip them. And Raquel don't want to see
Yeah, I told
no.
them you can't put us in your balls for your cooking show. You got to find like a phone stand or something.
Uh,
Well, Marcos, you're gonna have to get like a little stand or something.
yeah, I'll probably do pork chop what next week, depending on how I feel.
So, what do you think about Balenciaga, Marcos? You gonna buy any of their shit?
Raquel, I'm not. I'm not into all the high luxury shit. I might have a couple things that are high quality, but other than that, I ain't into all that shit. My sister might be though, cause I think she has a lot of name brand shoes, but that's about it.
Get her on the show.
Well, she might be working.
You always have some excuse.
Well, not like my sister's actually sometimes she's on call. She can't really do anything unless uh she's not working, unless she has like a day off. She usually on call most of the time, or she's in meetings all day. Sorry, brother.
Gotcha. Well, I think we pretty much hit all the topics. We will be coming on, in the future to update about Shanquella because it's something that hits me. Um, I have a daughter, that is going to grow up and possibly want to go on a trip with her friends, and to see stuff like this scares the shit out of me. So to
Mm-hmm.
bring, I guess,
Me too as
awareness to
well.
your children, to watch out around you, to watch out for signs, look for the signs. And if you don't know who's, going, then maybe you should really think about going. You have to trust who you're going with. Avoid confrontation, avoid trouble, avoid problems as much as possible. Protect yourself, and especially know who your friends are. Don't open up to everyone.
And that was another crazy thing about it. What's the name? He was her best friend for 7 years. Seven
Yeah.
years they were best friends. He went on family trips with them. He went out to eat with them,
Yeah, that was sick.
dinners with them. I mean,
How
they
can
took
you
him in.
do
The mother
that?
said he was like a son to them. Then for him to keep coming over there after the fact, lying to her face over and over again, telling the mom that, you know, that was alcohol poisoning. Then she asked, then not only did he do that, he had the nerve to bring the person that jumped on him her in the video, her and Winter, bring Dejanay and Winter over there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's some low shit. Um,
Very evil.
just sign that petition, everybody, and definitely, you know, spread the word about this girl because, unfortunately, because the way the crime happened when it was in another country in Mexico, involving U.S. citizens that actually made it back to U.S. soil. It's now going to be a huge process, and it's going to take time. So, and I just have a feeling it's going to end up turning to street justice if these guys don't stay out. I don't blame anybody for moving out of where they were living because those people are not liked right now. So don't bully, don't hurt people, don't go out and and look for trouble, try to, I guess, like, and this coming from me is crazy because I've always been like a short fuse kind of person, but I'm trying to grow up and learn that is not. I've never been like that. I've never purposely hurt somebody. That's just going out and purposely embarrassing someone, making someone feel like absolute crap, and just belittling a person, and that's just wrong. Hey, sup, Troop. I just put the
Hello,
stream link out. Jump
hello,
on.
Troop, Mike G,
We miss you.
Blamo, Mr. Meet and Greet. Also,
Pedrito.
yeah, like I said,
Especially women. Watch out for watch out for your friends. Watch out for who you let in because if it don't feel right, it ain't right. Go with your gut.
exactly, and I always speak to somebody else about a second opinion on things. If you have that, because us as women, we always have that little
Intuition.
instinct, that little thing, intuition, that little thing in our
Yep.
head, even relationships or whatever. We know when something's not right.
When something's toxic, you can feel it somehow. Like I think that goes for women's intuition, man's intuition.
Correct.
It's just pay attention to your surroundings and pay attention to who you let in and just be careful because when you go overseas, this is the kind of shit that happens. And now you've got 6 idiots who are free right now on the streets. I mean, they're not free by any means. Hey, sup, trooper. Welcome.
Hey, Trooper Loop.
What's going on, my people? Happy New Year's.
Happy
Hey.
New
What's up?
Year.
Happy New Year.
Welcome 2023.
Oh, yeah.
Está haciendo Pedrito.
Oh, my
We
God.
got Marcos.
Also,
He was supposed to show us him flipping his fucking potatoes, but
Raquel, I thought you had to.
that'll be next time.
I had to put the basket on my lap in order to flip, so I can't. And you said you didn't want no crutch shot, so yeah.
Crotch shot. Did you just say I didn't want no crotch shot?
Yeah.
I'm dead.
You didn't.
I'm fucking dead. I told him I did not want any crotch shots. Yeah, I'm dead.
You didn't want to. You don't want to see the basket on my lap, so I said, "Fuck it," and see me flip the thing.
Nice to see everybody here.
Yeah, been a long time.
Oh, yeah, too long.
yeah,
I haven't had time to have a show.
it's been so much going on. I mean, with life in general. Also, I just thinking about earlier when you were talking and stuff. I know we were about to end the show. That's why I didn't say anything. But when you were talking about the over sexualizing the children and how they putting children on different things. I don't know if you guys heard of the story where the lady here, her daughter who wanted to identify as a cat.
Yep.
And so, yeah, that's really crazy. So her daughter wanted to identify as a cat. So she literally brought kitty litter to the school and says that her daughter must use kitty litter and stuff and allow the daughter to have, sometimes do stuff in school like a cat because that's what her daughter identifies as. I just want to think if you want to be at home and go along with that, which is a bunch of bull.
But in public,
But to have the school go along with it, and me personally, if I was at that school, I would be like, okay, if your child identifies as a cat and you want to allow this, first off, even though it's a law that your child have to go to school, we don't allow pets at school. That's number one. Number two, if you're gonna, if the child must be at school for some reason, then you and you really want to treat your child like a cat so much, have the child get the child kitty litter. I mean not kitty litter, but you know what I'm saying, cat food, whatever. It's crazy. Why in the world would you even allow that something like that to happen? I couldn't even fathom I don't care what my daughter want to identify as. Much pain as I suffer to bring you into
Yeah,
a
you
world,
ain't going to
this world,
school in a
you
cat
gonna be whatever
costume.
you
That
gonna be
shit
whatever
ain't
you was
happening
born
in my
as.
house. That
It's
shit
not
ain't.
happening in my house either. You was a girl, you
Wait
were
a
You
born
minute.
can
a
wear
Let
girl,
me.
you're
some
gonna be a
lady
girl till you're of
shit. You
age.
can wear some 70s shit. You better dress like a lady. You know, dress like a lady, act like a lady,
Wait a minute. What?
carry yourself respectfully.
What? What nationality was she? Was she white?
Who?
Uh,
The
the girl who wanted to identify as a
yes.
cat, yes.
See, only white.
What
Only
the
white
fuck
people.
does that matter,
Doesn't matter what
Marcos?
color. It's a lot of
It's
different
not just
races that
white
identify. So
people.
yes, everybody that's doing that right nowadays. Everybody.
Well, I
You
guess
got
the majority of white people do that shit.
The thoughts and opinions of Marcos is the thoughts and opinions of Marcos, and no one else only appear on the panel.
exactly. My channel, like any guest on this channel, is not the opinion of WGF podcast. We just let anyone on this platform. So
Yeah, that's
just a
no.
disclaimer.
That was good,
But
but
no, that's where discipline come in at. That's where discipline. You remember we were growing up, your mom be like, "I brought you in this world, and I'll take you out."
Right?
Exactly. Your dad or whatever.
And you got to be
No,
involved with your children. You
you
have
really
to.
do. You really do.
You have
Because
to
how
take the
silly does that
places,
look when your child get a certain age, and stuff.
take the time with them to teach them, talk to them, don't ignore them, take them to the beach when you get a chance, take them to that lake, take them to that pool.
yep.
You know, I guess you can't get that time back. You can't.
You really can't. So why don't you spend it helping molding them to be the best version they can be when they become an adult? To be the best person that they can be once they become of age, to prepare them for society and the real world.
Yep.
Because nobody in the real world going to accept that child as a cat.
But shit, on
They're going to get,
going back to what I was saying, only white people. Sometimes only white people do
and
that
now
shit.
that person could have been a Mexican for all you know. It didn't happen to be white, but still.
Marcos, don't go to the race thing.
And
Stop
you
it.
can't go to, you know what? You cannot really go to the race thing. We just finished talking about
I've seen
a
some
person
fucking Mexicans
getting killed
dressed up in worse shit than
we
cats.
just
Let me tell
finished
you.
speaking about somebody getting killed over in Mexico. Now, what if we say all Mexicans let you
Wait,
get away with that?
wait a minute, Sean.
Which we know that's not true.
Certain areas of Mexico are are actually bad areas. So depending where they went,
Well, all people are
might
bad
be
people, no matter
might,
what race they
no.
are, right?
I'm saying
And there's
the
good people no matter
on
what race they are.
I'm saying depending where they went in Mexico, it might have been a bad area. Because in
It
Mexico,
was
there's
in
certain
Cabos, Mexico. Not that looked like a nice
Cabos.
pricey.
El
That looked like an
Cabo.
expensive. First of all, her family came from money, and that looked like that was that was a nice looking place they stayed at.
Yeah,
It didn't look like no cheap place at all. Did it look cheap to you,
but
Storm?
No.
but
Like she spent some money on that. Actually, she did spend some money on it.
like it, you know as well that in the rich areas of Mexico, there are also bad areas in the
Okay,
same town.
Marcos, that's everywhere.
Yeah,
Like
that's no matter where you
you could
live.
go on one street in upstate New York and it'd be like, like rural and like cool, and then the next street looks like you're driving through fucking Compton,
yeah.
Literally. It's like that's everywhere. And but when you go to an Airbnb and you go on vacation in Mexico, we as Americans want to feel safe that your government is going to do its due diligence to protect us. And right now, if you want to claim Mexico, even though your check's coming from the States, if you want to claim Mexico, I could tell you right now, it's not looking good because they're just trying to cover up too much shit.
Wait a minute. First of all, I stay with my family at the house where I live. Like I don't go to no fancy Airbnb. I stay at the house. We got a house over there, and I stay at the house.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that are dying going on vacation in your country and your government covering it up.
Was it recent? Because if this was recent, then yeah, it's Obrador. But if not, then it might have been Peña Nieto or somebody else.
It was in October. We just went through this whole thing. I know you were prepping your potatoes, Marcos. It's fine.
Oh, they were good, Raquel, but it
Did you
needed.
see our cooking hour troop? We got Marcos's how not to use an air fryer cooking hour. And as
I
soon as
quit.
he gets some sort of stand to put his phone on so he doesn't have to put us in his crotch, we're gonna get to watch him do it.
I could have made some bacon to put to
So it's
cook
bacon
the
and eggs on the next show. No,
So,
bacon and potatoes.
so
bacon,
I guess
bacon and
Marco,
potatoes.
I guess Marco's got an air fryer for Christmas.
Pedrito, I've had the air fryer for like a month now,
Yeah,
even before Christmas. No, before I got it before Christmas.
Exactly. That was your Christmas present.
No, but here's the thing, Pedrito. Here's the thing. So when we were back home, my grandparents called my mom one day and told told my mom that they got me in air fryer, and I was gonna get one anyway, coming back. But since they got it for me, I didn't have to. So that's
Max,
What girlfriend?
the
no
hell are you talking about,
godparents.
Marcos?
Pedrito, my godparents. Pedrito, my godparents.
Oh, okay.
My godparents
I'm
called
too
my mom.
sober for this. I'm too fucking sober for this. I'm
She
too
can
sober for this.
wait,
Marcos, can you say that in English now?
wait, I can
Okay.
let me make myself a drink.
You're gonna make yourself a drink?
Yeah, because I
Hi,
got
Slick Chick. How you doing, honey?
some orange juice. I got like 3 little bottles of orange juice the other day.
Let's see. Show us what you're mixing. Show
Yeah,
us.
let's see. I want to see that bottle.
Turn on the camera.
Hold on, let me
I hope it ain't the same bottle you have for years.
see. Orange juice,
And
whole
what
thing,
else?
whole thing of orange juice, and the
Dun,
last
dun,
little bit
dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Come on, man.
and the last little bit.
Oh shit. Marcos is getting jiggy with it.
Okay, you gotta put it.
That's it,
Let's
Marcos. What the hell did you do to that bottle?
Put
Were
in the-
you on this? Were you on the bathroom floor again?
Raquel,
Excellent
I
bottle.
was no the other day when I got the two things of Sunny Delight. I had a third bottle because I was working on some music, and I made myself a drink that night. So one of the bottles,
You drank half the bottle in one night.
All right, go get a cup.
the remainder of the half of the remainder of the bottle, Raquel.
Go get a cup.
Your mother must have wanted to kick your ass.
Go get a cup.
They were asleep when I pour myself a drink. Hold on, let me put
So Marcos the bar. So now Marcos is the bartender. So now this is Marcos's bartending hour.
I want to see the cup.
Sunny delight. Sunny delight, and I don't know what the hell else.
Monte Azul. Pedrito, but look, I'm gonna see. That's just gonna that bottle right there. I opened it, but just to like open it all the way. But that's my next bottle right there.
All right, so go get a cup. Let's see your cup. Let's see your cup.
Marcos identifies as Mexican elbow cough.
What the hell?
I'm dead. Mexican elbow cough.
Who said that? Oh, Carlito.
Carlito.
Vas a
Carlito.
ver, Carlito. Vas a ver, Carlito. Vas a ver. Okay.
Cup.
I gotta help my daughter with something, so I'm gonna drop down in the chat. Like you have me up in the panel.
All right, thanks for coming, sis. And do you want to say goodbye to everyone?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out, and please, definitely look over all them that bill that Paper was talking about. Look over it, study it, for yourself and everything. We definitely don't support Balenciaga here. We don't believe in that child pedo stuff. Shame on them for that. And definitely always hashtag say her name, hashtag keep Shanquella Robinson's name alive, hashtag justice for Shanquella always.
Amen.
Fill it up. Fill it up.
All right. With
Thank
that,
you. Thank you so much for joining the panel, sis. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
all
Have
right.
a good
Thanks,
one, Shannon.
sis.
Okay. Well, I'll be in the chat. I won't just be gone.
Okay.
I'll be back in the chat. All
Fill it
right.
up. Fill it up.
All
I
right.
did.
Bye-bye.
You empty the bottle?
Yep, it's empty, Pedrito.
I see some in the bottom.
One thing.
I see some in the bottom.
That's nothing.
I see some in the bottom.
But like that was what was left from the other day that I
Hey,
made
Marcos, you
myself
know
a
what?
drink.
You know what we say? Go to the last drop.
That was the dude. So what you been doing, Pedrito?
Oh, Lord, here we go. Never have a conversation with Marcos. Marcos will flip a script.
Yeah, he just changes the subject like commercial. It's worse than my commercials.
The orange juice. Whole thing of orange juice.
You sure you want Sunny D? You sure you just don't want the D?
It's got the phone.
He only had like a half a shot in the bottle of that fucking left in that bottle, anyways. I don't know what he's gonna do with that.
Fill it up. Fill it up. Come on.
Are you peeing, Marcos?
No, I was pointing out with the
You
Sunny.
peeing in a cup?
Definitely
I
not
was
European.
I was pouring half of the Sunny in the thing paper. Now give me a spoon.
Where's Mikey at? Mikey! Come on, Mike.
Michelle in the chat.
Really, Marcos?
Good.
Don't you know when you put the juice in there, it mixes automatic?
No, guys. That's what I did anyway the other day. Good. What happened? What happened?
We're waiting for you to drink. You finish showing us your drink mixing skills here.
While Marcos is
What is
drinking.
this called? What is this drink called, Marcos?
Well, I was working on some music like night before last, and I just came up with it that night.
Sunny D and Mexican rum, is it?
No, tequila. It's
Oh,
tequila.
tequila and Sunny D? What the
Yep.
heck?
It's good.
Ugh.
Pretty much is tequila.
Raquel, no, but seriously, Raquel, this is the way we mix.
When Mike goes, you got the Sunny, just call it tequila.
Wait,
Sunny tequila.
Tequila. No. Paper, this is the way we actually actually do drinks back home. We do like a bootleg version of Squirt or 7 Up and tequila.
Well, do you know that real Mexicans don't mix?
So Marcos, any new girlfriends this week? I just have to ask.
Raquel, the first one kind of broke up with me,
Again?
like a week ago.
Another one, and another one.
Well, no, it's because she. I hit her up. I hit her up
You couldn't get
a couple days
interruption.
ago, and no, and she said I was telling her where she wanted to go with when I went back home next year, and she said that she doesn't know if she's still gonna be at the house so she might move to a different state. So she
you
told me,
caused
Sup,
this
sup?
one to move to a different state? Are you shitting me?
no,
She didn't
I
just
even-
block you. She moved to a whole new state.
Raquel, I even asked her. She said it. She said it wasn't. Raquel, I even.
Can't.
Wait a minute, Raquel. I even asked her. She said, I guess it has something to do with work or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah, she's working all right.
She's working all right. I'm getting out of the state you live in. You chased this one out of the state, Marcos. Good job.
And Raquel, but wait a minute. Remember, I had another one on the
On standby.
yeah.
All right, hold on. Give me a second, and then you can tell me. Let Carl's on the panel now, so he can
What's
say
up,
Can you hear me?
I'll be right back.
Yeah,
What's up,
what's
Carl?
Hello. What's going on?
Carlito, we can hear you. Yes, we can.
Sweet. That means the headset's working. Nice. Warranty. Just got it back today.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, true. But back home we mix a lot of the
Marcos, did you get
tequila
laid?
with.
Did you get laid?
Back home. Back home in California?
Did you get laid?
Did I get laid?
Yeah.
No, but I was about to.
About
She
to.
ran out of the state.
No, favor. This was before. Favor. This was. He asked me before the. No.
So this
Favor,
one just ran
first
out
of
of the
all,
country.
I never sent you the. Favor. First of all, did I ever send you the screenshots?
Of what?
Or did of my girlfriend?
Which one?
The one in Mexico.
Is this
What,
the one that
what we were talking about?
you
Can
have
you
the
narrow it down a
mother-in-law
little
with
more?
and the daughter?
No, this is the new. This is the new.
Oh,
one.
Jesus Christ. No, I haven't
The new
seen
old
her.
one.
Oh, so it was just. I think it was just Raquel and somebody else. I sent the screenshot.
What happened to your one that you were going to marry and with your stepdaughter?
Well, favorite. She was being undecisive, like I told you before. Cause we would come up with the wedding and all that shit here. Went back, she would say no for a couple. That went on for a couple years, and then when I went back this time,
He was like, hell no.
I told my then mother-in-law what going to happen, and then my dad got into it.
The mother-in-law, which is the mom of the white the girl that won't marry you.
No, that is undecisive on what she wants.
Right. The one that won't marry you.
That's undecisive on what she wants. So then.
Well, she knows one thing. She doesn't want you.
She
She's not
doesn't want me.
indecisive about that.
No, Carlito, she doesn't want me, but she's afraid of.
She just doesn't know it yet.
No, she doesn't want me, but she's afraid of what her family besides my mother-in-law might say.
Oh, Marcos.
Yeah. So my dad got into the conversation, paper,
We gotta get you $2 hoe.
and I forget what he
$2.
told.
Jesus.
What
Fucking Troop, the
he
big
told-
spender.
What he told my.
Well, for Marcos, anything will do.
Pedrito,
Alright.
give me a G, and that'll if convert it to Mexican. That's 20 right there. 20 G right there.
What do you need that for?
Her to give you $1,000 US?
Yeah, that'll be
what?
20 G. That'll be 20. that'll be
Troop
20.
said he's going to get him a $2 whore. I called Troop a big spender.
Yeah,
He said nothing but the best for
Well,
Marcos.
now
Yeah.
Marcos wants to up that to 1,000, I guess.
I guess.
Raquel, because if I'm taking it to Mexico, I'd rather go a G to Mexico, make that 20 G's, and spend a lot more over there than I can here.
Marcos, what happened when you did go to Mexico? Didn't you have money?
Yeah,
So what happened to that money?
half that shit went to my new bottle. I spent
He does.
$2,000 on my new bottle.
And how much is American $2,000?
140 or 150.
What?
On a bottle of what, tequila?
Yep. I spent two grand
The rest,
Mexican on my
rest of your money
bottle.
went to food?
I'm
No.
fucking dead. He must have went in the
Go-
back room at the room 10 hotel, Mike, in the back
Carlito,
side.
Yeah.
that bottle right there, the one Carlito, look, that bottle right there, the bottle with the wooden cork. You see that bottle right there?
All right, everybody, pitch in $2. You know, we're gonna get Marcos a blow up doll.
You see that bottle right there? You see that bottle right there, Carlito? You see that bottle right there?
What bottle? There's 3 of them.
The bottle behind the hand sanitizer.
Yep. Okay, I see it. The brown bottle.
Yes, that brown bottle cost me $2,000 Mexican.
What?
Yeah, $2,000 Mexican.
Did you already drink it?
No, I opened it,
You
but
should have said yes, because now you're in trouble. Because Trooper's going to tell you to open the bottle.
He already.
I'm drinking right now.
That's the same stuff.
No.
This is my old bottle. This is not this.
Okay,
Right
finish
here?
that drink. Finish
Is
that
that
drink
bottle?
so we can see you drink some of that new bottle
Oh,
stuff.
This
God.
is not happening on my meats. We have to bring this over to papers, or I mean my YouTube. We got to bring this over to papers or Marcos's. Marcos, do you still have your YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Okay, you got to bring this over to your YouTube channel. Create a link like Marcos is back or some shit, because we're not doing this on What the Fuck. I'm
You
not
look,
responsible for the falling out of the wheelchair bullshit.
Raquel. I love you too, Raquel.
I love you too, Marcos. So create the link. Create the link, please.
Hold on, beautiful. Let me finish my drink, Raquel.
Folks, we're gonna be sending this YouTube show over to Marcos's channel because What the Fuck podcast does not condone the
Well, Raquel,
falling out of the wheelchair of Marcos
wait a
Murillo,
minute, Raquel.
which has happened several times, by the way.
Oh no, he's gonna fill up the cup. He's gonna get ready for the next show.
No,
Raquel,
make the
wait a
link
minute.
first. Make the fucking link first.
Yeah, but wait a minute, Raquel. Let's see. So you want me to drink on my channel, but half the shit you say is already 18 plus.
No, you're taking it. No. Create the link.
I know, but half the stuff that you talk about is already. Half
Do
the
not
stuff that you
condone
talk
the
about.
falling out of the Leaning Tower of Marcos is what it's called.
No,
But
but
Raquel,
then who's gonna shut the show down if he falls off?
I'm dead. The Leaning Tower of Marcos.
but Raquel, half the stuff that you talk about is already 18 plus. So
No, all the stuff I talk about is already 18
yeah,
plus.
see,
All right, go make a drink.
hold on, I gotta take care of business. Hold on.
Oh my god. Dun, 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 dun. You taking us to the bathroom with you?
No,
Oh.
wait, I gotta put you guys on the charger.
We're going on the charger. Thank God we're not going to the bathroom. There's too many religious things in there, Marcos. How can you do that stuff in front of all those gods?
First of all, Raquel, there's Jesus over there above the TV. There's Jesus right there above the TV. There's Jesus
You
in
have
the living.
9 Jesuses and 10 Hail Marys.
No, there's There's one Christmas right here above the TV. There's another Christmas in the closet.
Hey, you know what's funny?
What?
Marcos don't care what statue he has, no matter what. Guys still seeing everything.
Hold on.
Right?
Dijiste?
No matter how many statues you have in that room, even if you take them down, he's still seeing what you're doing, dumbass.
Pedrito. Pedrito and last time. Wait. You know me saying.
What the
How the
heck?
taters came out? I missed it.
You got to take a deep breath before you talk. You got to take a deep breath before you talk.
Don't forget
You're
prefixing. Very important.
Again, first of all, Jesus don't be saying shit.
What?
You can't see you.
Jesus don't be saying shit.
Jesus doesn't see shit? What do you cover up with the sheet before you do it?
No.
Wide open, huh?
Then he's seeing it.
Out in here.
Then he's seeing it, buddy.
Well, Carlito, when I was
It's like Santa Claus. He knows.
Well, Carlito, when I was talking to one of the females from back home that I started talking to, that I'm technically dating. I went to the
technically
bathroom.
dating? What does that mean? What is technically dating?
We're dating, Draken.
That means he thinks he's dating in his head.
He's dating, but she's unaware. Okay,
He
got it.
he identifies as a boyfriend.
What is technically fucking dating? You either dating or you're not dating, Marcos.
He doesn't know what it means.
He doesn't know where he's coming or going.
So, like two nights ago, I took the WhatsApp phone call into my bedroom, and I kind of right there.
Oh shit! He just admitted it for the first time.
Yeah, no.
Was it that crazy girl?
Not to the first.
It was a different one?
Yep.
Oh shit.
Oh, Marco's OnlyFans page is getting started.
I can't right now. He finally admitted it, guys.
No, wait a minute.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
It's not breaking news.
Mike, you heard it here.
Hey, Marcos, did it get you in your eye?
But again,
The third one.
No, actually,
Oh my
the third one is the one that broke up with me.
You
The
did
third
it
eye
three
broke.
times?
The third eye broke up with you.
So,
Oh, I can't, Marcos. Marcos is no longer a virgin, folks.
Well, come on now.
Now that counts for me.
For him.
So
Okay.
that
here's the
counts.
story on the third girlfriend. So a week, let me see, the week that we came back, or maybe a week after we came back, I went on this app. I started talking to a lot of emails.
Marcos, what the hell are we looking at?
I put you guys on the charger.
Oh, that's right.
We can't see you making a drink.
That's because I'm not in the kitchen right now. You see?
All right.
Okay.
He put us on
My thing just came off. Yeah, so like a week after we came back, like maybe a week or two after, I started talking to the to a lot of females. This one female in particular is what like an hour and 30 minutes away from my house, back home. So, so I got her to be girlfriend number 3, and then like maybe like a week, couple days before Christmas,
What's up, Mr. B?
couple days before Christmas, we were talking about something, and then my dumbass accidentally told her I got multiples.
Multiple what? Multiple erections? Multiple women?
Yeah, women.
Oh,
Yeah, and then she started. She I guess she was mad at me. Estaba enojada. So I kept telling her she's the only one, even though that was
that
never the
was a
case.
lie.
Yeah.
Maury says that 99% that was a lie.
So just to keep her around, I was like, "You're the only one for me. You're the only one I'm talking to. All this and that." So like couple days, like maybe Christmas Day, maybe Christmas night, I hit her up, and she tells me I can't do it no more. I'm done.
What, phone sex?
No, she's not. No, me and girlfriend number 3 never. Me and girlfriend number 3 never did the deed, Raquel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
So how
she
about
was
number
like
1 and 2?
she first day one I got one the
What
first
happened
day.
to that freaky older woman that was after you that I saw the text messages from? Did she ever contact you back?
What the girlfriend number 1 or
Craze?
girlfriend number 1 or girlfriend number 2?
I can't keep track, Marcos.
Because girlfriend number 1 is the one that said that for me to find a new girlfriend because she's moving.
Oh, that's the one you made leave state. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
but I talk to girlfriend number 2 every now and then. We still good.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got girlfriend number 1, girlfriend number 2, girlfriend number 3. Girlfriend number
So
1 left state. Girlfriend
no,
number 3
no,
is
no.
having phone.
Wait a minute.
Didn't have
Like
phone
girlfriend
sex
number 1
yet. You never did the
said
deed.
that.
So it's got to be number 2.
Like girlfriend number 1 just told me that if I go back home, she might not be there when I go back home. So that because she might be moving out of state.
Oh boy.
When you go back home.
Yeah. So that's why.
Aren't you home now?
What?
You're home.
No,
Aren't
but
you home now? Marcos,
in
you're
Mexico,
American.
in Mexico.
You're not home. That's not home.
Doesn't have states.
Yeah, it is.
That's
For me,
not-
it is.
That's that.
For me, it is.
You're just a Mexican wannabe.
For me, it is.
How can she leave state if she lives in Mexico? That's not a state. The state of
Well,
mind.
Well, paper state means the same state that I live in too when I go over.
I'm dead.
Is she leaving the Marcos state of mind?
So I live in
My
Guanajuato.
brain hurts.
Paper. I live in Guanajuato.
Smoke a blow one.
Or like,
I thought Marcos was gonna make meats on. I mean, a fucking thing on his channel.
I could, Raquel. I just need to go take a leak.
Oh my god, he's never coming back.
Damn.
Dun 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 dun
Hold up.
dun 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 dun
I gotta
dun
take you guys
dun
back.
dun dun dun. You did. That's Marcos when he goes take a pee. That's his song.
I heard it in meets every night for the last 3 years.
Oh, we're still on the charger at least. He didn't take us in the bathroom.
Yeah.
He's talking to us from there.
Her trying to light her cigarette. I don't know.
Paper, paper.
I don't know what it is. That flicker thing on your computer.
What computer?
One that you got in your lap.
Must be someone on here. I didn't even know what you guys talking about. I did not hear any clicking, folks.
I know I did.
Oh, it's Marcos doing something in his wheelchair in the bathroom.
Oh.
That's what all the clicking is.
Are you trying to get it jump started, Marcos?
It's what it sounded like. It was a TV remote.
No, he's doing something with his wheelchair, trying to jump out of it, I think.
He's falling but can't get up.
Not yet, he said.
I'm back.
He didn't fall. He said he's all right.
I'm back. So
Okay, go back.
can I
Go get that bomb.
should I
Did
do
you wash
a
your
new
hands?
thing? Second?
Did you wash your hands?
Yep.
That's a lie.
I did.
You didn't hear no water running.
Hold on, beautiful. Okay. So should I do a stream guide on my thing? Reckon? Should I go live?
Rachel, come back.
Should I go live?
Yeah, because I don't know.
We are live. What you talking about?
Should I go live?
Yeah, because I would not want to destroy my video with this garbage.
Okay. But what do you think? Should I go live?
I don't know. I don't care. You a man, ain't you?
You want to go live, Paper? And bring Marcos on your channel, or you want him to make a link?
Tell him to do it.
Marcos, make a link.
Okay, because I'm doing it. I'm getting on my computer right now. Just to make the link.
Or we could just say goodnight and make meets.
Bravo.
What do you guys want to do?
Meets.
Okay.
Why don't we do it in order of people who came on, I guess, to say goodbye, and then I'll wrap it up.
Okay.
So I don't know, Carl, were you on before Troop, or was Troop on before you?
I think Pedrito that was before Carlito.
Oh, I think I was the last one on.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you go first, okay, Carl?
Oh, sure. Everybody have a good night. Thanks for jumping on. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and check out those other links that were posted during the show and the petition. And try and get down and figure out what's going on with this, with what happened there. Get some justice for these people. Hey, all have a good night.
Troop?
Like I always say, thank y'all for coming. See you in the next one. Like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to wash that ass. Let's start this New Year's the right way. Peace.
Marcos, thank you for your cooking show tonight. We'll do more in the future when you get a recipe book.
Like I said, the book that came with the air fryer had like 9 recipes in the very back, but
Okay.
I ain't doing those 9 recipes just yet.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna let you say good night, and then I'm gonna let Paper go, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. So go ahead and say your good nights, Marcos.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for having me. Have a good morning, night, afternoon, wherever it is, and see you all next time. Adios.
Paper.
Thanks everybody for coming over. Make sure, like Carl said, check out the links that were posted in the chat. Sign the petition, and if you haven't heard of some of the stories, go check them out, and the way you'll have an idea a little bit more about what's going on, what we were talking about. And for the next show, you'll be a little bit caught up to speed. And also, real quick, I'm going to post a link. I'm going to be doing a show that's going to go back and focus some on the veterans and the VA thing, and some more stuff about the benefits and whatnot that they don't tell you about on my YouTube channel. I'm not quite sure when, but it'll be a pop-up, I'm sure. But other than that, thanks first for having me on, Storm. Appreciate it. Everybody, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.
Thanks everybody for coming on. Remember that the thoughts and expressions of members on the panel have nothing to do with the YouTube channel itself. It's called WTF Podcast for a reason. We do like to bring you the most stories that we feel are important to hear. Maybe some stuff that makes you go what the fuck, and some stuff that you just may not believe, but it's happening. So thank you all for coming on. Thanks everybody on the panel for taking your time out. Thanks Marcos for your how not to to cook in a what is it called again?
Air fryer.
Air fryer. I don't have one yet. Wait, I think I do. I
I'm
don't
still
know how to
hungry.
use it. Anyways,
I'm still hungry.
Thanks everyone in the chat that listened, and the ones that are going to listen in the future. Just share with your friends and family, and spread the channel so that we get some more subscribers. I know it's we don't do many videos, we don't have a lot of time, we all got busy schedules. So see you on the next one. Thank you all for coming, and take care of yourself. Many blessings in 2023, and God bless you all. Take care.
There's the link. Post it in the chat.
Peace.
Wait, do what?
The meats link.
Meats link in the chat. Anybody can
Hold
join.
on, I'm gonna make another thing. Link and okay, hold on.
I'm still fucking hungry. Goddamn.
Don't say that word.
We're still live.
GT.
Marcos, we're still live.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to post this link before I end the video.
The link's coming just about as fast as Marcos's girlfriend.
Hey, which one?
Good luck with that. He's on an involuntary schedule, so. All right, you guys, have a wonderful new year. Have a wonderful 2023. And the meats link has been posted in the chat, so you guys can jump on. It'll also be posted in the Telegram. Thank you. Love you guys.
Peace.
Take care.
Happy New Year.
Peace.